Well, hello.
How's it going?
Welcome, guys, to the first live stream with me, atheistsw, and him.
Animeboy0021 or the real MG. Y'all can call me Mr. Tree Man. Y'all can call me whatever y'all want. It's all good.
Mr. Tree Man. I think that should be your new PSN name. Mr. Tree Man. I think it's very apt.
Treeboy0021.
Okay, so the reason we're streaming is we thought it'd be really cool to have a little look at the comparison between our first collaboration together, which was a track called Ocean City, which we made back in April of this year. When we
Before
were both
the coronavirus.
No, it was just at the start of the coronavirus, but we were both total, like, I had hardly done anything in the game, and you'd been on the game for a while, but even so, you knew so little then compared to what you know
May
now.
of 2019, yep.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been on Dreams pretty much since the beginning. Because it came out April 26th, and I think I got it like May 17th.
Yeah, well, I got it at early access, but I couldn't stand the motion control, so I didn't actually start doing anything with it until February this year when the full version came out, and then I fell in love with it. So anyway, we're going to have a look at both of the levels, and we're going to sort of just talk through our creative process. We're going to have a look at effective level design techniques that anyone can do, things to make your level look larger than it actually is, to make it feel alive, to give it that sense of scope. We're going to have a look at some of the really silly mistakes that we made in hindsight in the very first level that we did, the first version, where we did things that used way too much thermo and they were really inefficient, and it just caused all kinds of problems with what we could actually put in the level. And with the remake Ocean City Redux, which, as you can see on the screen, is available to play now, we have just created something so much bigger, so much more alive, with the same amount of thermo, with the same budget. We haven't been able to get any more budget out of it, but it's about how we've used the assets, it's about how we've optimized, it's about how we've made Dreams work for us, and the tips and tricks and things that we're going to share with you tonight are things that will help you to do a lot more and make your budget in Dreams go a lot further than you probably could imagine it would, because I know I've seen people saying like,
viewer.
Hello. I know I've seen a lot of people that say things like, I place like a house and a couple of rocks and my thermo is at like 70%. How do you make these huge cities? And I've had people on like Reddit and things asking me that, and I've tried to condense a simple answer down, but I think really you need to show people and explain in a little bit more detail exactly what it is that we're doing to be able to make the budget go that extra mile that we do. So I think we'll start off.
Oh, hello, Huggable Panda. How are you doing?
Hello, Huggable Panda. Welcome.
Yes,
I think we will start off
Panda.
as I just show the little dream time thing that I made there in Dreams, just to do a nice little thing. I think we will start off. I will just do a lap of the new version, so you can just see it in action. If you haven't seen it already, maybe it'll get you, I'll check that out. That looks cool.
The newer version, this is funny, because we're going to tell you exactly how this started. This started with me replacing trees. That was the whole thing. Was we were talking about our issues with frame rate and all that stuff, and then I was just like looking around. I was like, ugh, I hate these trees. They're so just bland and boring. And he was just like, really? Are we gonna do this for the 5th time? Because I already did that like 5 times before. And I can't see him, but I know the look he was giving me at that moment was just like, are you serious?
It was. It really was.
So I made these palm trees, and I was just like, I'm just gonna replace a few, see if these look good, and it ended up being the entire level. And then I ended up not liking those palm trees. So the palm trees that I made initially, I did not end up liking, and I redid them 3 times. And then I was looking at the ones that I made that were like perfect, and he even said they were perfect. I made new ones, placed them in, and the gameplay just skyrocketed like nothing. And I was just tripping because they looked so good. He was just like, I can't tell the difference. I'm like, what do you mean you can't tell the difference? These fronds are longer, they have more blades, and you're just like, a tree's a tree, dude. And I'm just like, I'm here just like tripping because I'm like, I spent like 3 hours trying to make this tree and I can't even use it because like the gameplay skyrocketed. So yeah, that's how Miami restarted again.
But I mean, it was only supposed to be literally the original version, which we'll show you in a bit as a comparison. The original version, we had lots of trees that were painted, and we thought at the time we were finding a loophole around the graphics because we thought, oh, we're using paint for tree leaves rather than sculpts. You know, we're going to be able to fit in far more because the early trees that I put in the level, and this was how me and Anime Boy actually got to know each other, was he made these really nice but very gameplay heavy trees, and I was trying to put them in the level. And it was a case of like I was placing 5 palm trees and the gameplay was like ticking up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm like, I've got this whole level that needs filling. There's no way I'm going to be able to use all these trees. And he was like, oh hey, I can make you some trees, that are low cost.
That's pretty much how this whole thing started, was because of trees.
So we got chatting. And we basically got chatting, and he was like, "Oh hey, I'll make you these trees." And then it turned out that he was a really great visual artist. We have a very special guest
in the comment section. My ride or die, my best friend, my bestie boo. Yes, what's up, Austin that Kamikaze? That's my best friend.
That's your best friend.
That's my best friend. That is my ride or die. That is my bottom bitch. That is my best friend.
from back in the neighborhood days.
Back in the D. Back in that Detroit. You know what's up?
Hello, Azuna. Nice to have you with us.
Asuna.
Asuna. Yeah, I can't do the Japanese.
Scream, do it up. I love you. Oh my god.
So anyway,
call me later.
I think we'll chat a bit more. I think I'll just go ahead and I will play the level. We'll do like 1 lap just with the intro and 1 lap so you can drive around, and then I'll stop it and we'll go into the editor. We'll have a little look around. But I think actually it's important to have a look at the old version because that's where we can talk about all the things we did wrong.
She has never really seen any of my dreams creations. Like, she's seen pictures, but she hasn't seen video. The last thing that she's seen was something that I sent to my ex last year. You remember that? It was like the Michigan scene. It was like all the trees and stuff changing color. Yeah,
well, I will say he's come a long way.
Yeah, my ex was just like, oh, it's pretty, I guess. Like, forget you.
Okay, so let's play this through. Let's show people what we've got, and then we can go and have a discussion about how we made it, and yeah, we'll take it from there. But here we go.
We're not gonna talk about her right now, okay? I love you, but we're not gonna talk about her right now. Alright, so what y'all are seeing is the new and improved Ocean City based off of the real city, Miami, Florida, which I have yet to go to. But when I do go, my best friend gonna be there with me. Ain't that right, bestie? We gonna get turned up.
Okay, here we go. So, what I will say is the car is absolutely amazing. It's made by the Muffin Man 775, who makes so many great cars in Dreams, and I've loved this car ever since I first saw it.
Message. Alright, we have 4 people watching.
Hello,
Who else
4
is
people.
Watching? Hello.
Well, you're watching. You're one of them. I will also say that this looks a little slow. There is a good reason for that. It's because the pad I am using is my creating pad. Which unfortunately has a broken R2 button, so I can only get about 70% of the actual acceleration. I have to hold it down so hard just to get any kind of speed. But I can't use my other pad, which I use when I'm actually racing, which doesn't have a broken button, because that has a dodgy D-pad, so when I'm in create mode it ends up making clones everywhere without me realising, and I end up with clones under the map, halfway across the map, half a mile up in the sky. It's a nightmare.
Huggable Panda says getting a strong outrun vibe. Yeah, it's kind of like that, like a little bit, but not like entirely.
I wouldn't say outrun so much, not for this one. I would say more Burnout, Need for Speed, Project Gotham Racing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Those would be the main kind of influences, I think.
So that background is actually all one sculpt. That whole city back there.
Yeah,
that is another way
there,
to help with gameplay. We will show in edit mode some of the things that we use. We have a lot of trees. Probably too many trees, but I don't care.
Well, because they're not painted though, because they're sculpted, it doesn't really affect the frame rate that much. I mean, honestly, we can't get a 30 frames per second consistently with this. It's about 27, 28, but it's barely noticeable. No. And actually, if you have a PS4 Pro, you won't get any frame rate issues because that can handle so much more, you know? So yeah, there's a lot of detail in here, and
that is actually incorrect.
It's amazing.
You can have a lot of trees.
To think.
What you have to do is you have to turn off, what was it? Gravity, collidable,
yeah, you basically have to make them act
the
like they are just not a solid object.
Pretty
or like,
much.
Basically, if you have the leaves, you make the leaves non-collidable, and the leaves
I do
being
that for all of my palm fronds.
A lot.
That's why my palm trees, you know, this actually helps with the gameplay thermo, because the gameplay thermo actually increases with more stuff that is collidable, which we just noticed like the other week or so. No, that was like the other day, wasn't it?
That was that was with Crescent City, where we were. That was Martin's suggestion.
Yeah, so like we noticed that with Crescent City, and we actually noticed it more when I was doing my Key Largo thing, which is really beautiful. Check it out, Key Largo, animeboy0021.
So this is my favorite part of the track. Actually, this is where we take it up to an early morning.
I love that. Yeah.
And I say we, I mean I created a couple of keyframes to basically take off hundreds of the lights that are on.
Narcissist.
Well, I say I because, you know, that's a very, very boring job and it's very time consuming, but it was
like
worth
I said, I would have done it if I
effect.
had time, but I don't have time like that.
Yeah. I think I'm just going to end up playing through the whole thing because we're on lap 3 now and it's like there's only 30 seconds left. I might as well just get to the end. I know I said I was only going to do one lap, but sorry. So this is actually really bright now. Once you get over to this point, it's almost daytime. It's like 6:30 in the morning. Everyone's starting to wake up.
Best friend of real one. True.
So yeah, and I'm trying to go through all the alternate routes as well. What I will say is that if you are not like a racing fan, then we hit 10 prize bubbles around the level, and there's a counter as well. So you can go on a little scavenger hunt instead and just drive around at your leisure. And
oh, hello, Disobey Gaming.
I'm just gonna show you a couple of them. You know, there's one hidden here. Oh,
what's up, man?
How did you miss the How did you miss that?
Yeah, how did you miss it?
Well, because I drove past it.
You didn't juke hard enough.
I drove past it.
You didn't juke hard enough. You were just like,
Yeah.
Speaking of juking hard enough, I actually witnessed a car accident today. Yep.
Wow.
People in Florida can't drive. There was this woman, looked like she just got a mattress and she was trying to get it back to her house or some crap. She wasn't paying attention to the road, was looking down at her phone. The light had just turned yellow and was about to turn red, and she was still looking down, and she T-boned an old man's car. On the side of his car, actually popped out his shoulder. My father and I witnessed the whole thing. We're about 10 feet behind. And, you know, if my dad didn't have the good eye that he did, it would have been a 3-car, pile up. So it would have been really bad. So,
okay, so
I'm glad that he he pretty much interpreted what was going to happen. Like, he saw this lady, and he knew she was going to hit that car, and she did. And the old man, his shoulder went out of socket. I called an ambulance. They came. Everything's all good. He went into the ambulance. None of the lady's children were hurt.
Oh, she had children in the car. You didn't
hurt.
mention that earlier. You didn't mention she had kids in the car.
She had a teenage daughter. She was kind of hot. And whatever. She had a teenage daughter, and she had a 5-year-old autistic child.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
And she was looking down at her phone.
That's crazy. So what should we go into the old or should we go into the new version first? Because
show the new version.
Okay.
Or do you? I was thinking we can maybe talk about what we do, like a do and then don't situation.
What we do. Okay, so I think if we look at the old version, we can see the don'ts. I'll have to go into version though, and I'll have to go all the way back and find the old version before we started gutting it with impunity. Let's have a look.
Oh, we have 5 people who won.
Hello.
Speak.
Speak, do not be shy.
Speak, or forever hold your peace. Not playing.
When did we start this? We started it at the beginning of the month. It was...
That started August 5th or something?
Yeah, okay. I mean, there's so many saves between the two of us here that I'm just going back. You just see, like, the progression. Started adding trees back. There we go. So, 8th of August, I was like, you deleted all the painted trees, and then I started adding trees back. I added a boat, too. That was going to be the extent of it. It was literally just going to be, like, replace some trees, add a boat.
Hold on real quick. Can y'all hear me? If everyone can hear me, put a thumbs up in the comment section.
Can you hear?
Yeah, I don't know if that's... One of the people just sent me a message saying that they can hear. But...
Right, a minute then. I'm just going to listen back to the stream. Oh no, they can hear you. I'm listening to it on mine now, and some people just sent me a message, so they should be able to hear you on there. Yeah, there you go. Your boo can hear you. Yeah, it's fine.
She's not my boo. We've been down that road. We ain't gonna talk about that.
Right, where are we? Okay, here we go. This is the old version. This is the old version before we started getting it. So we're gonna have to go into that one and have a look at this. And yeah. Oh, Night Owl. Okay, so. Night Owl 69, big shout out for that guy. He came on board.
Yes, he is an MVP.
Quite a couple of months after we'd made a few tracks, and we had some very janky handling because neither of us know anything about logic or anything. You know, we're very much visualists. And he came on board, and he's a total logic man. And he transformed, like, he did the logic for the racing, he transformed the car handling, you know, he did an amazing job. And he has been with us, and he's done all the tracks that we've made.
Hurry back, bestie!
This is the 6th, but technically the 5th, because this is a remake, so, yeah. And we've got a few others that are in the pipeline as well. Okay, so you can see, we're zooming out here in the old version, you can see all these trees are disappearing when we zoom out.
Look at that glitch.
Because they are paint, and the game hates paint. I mean, there's one thing this game hates more than trees, it's paint. Okay, and, oh, thank you, Disobey Gaming, really appreciate that.
Swag.
So, one thing that this game hates more than trees is paint. And the reason is that paint is essentially transparent flecks. And whereas with a sculpt, they are packed very tightly, so it uses things like occlusion so that anything behind the sculpt is not rendered. So with paint, anything behind the paint is still rendered because of that transparency property that it possesses. And that means when you use lots of trees, it's still having to render everything behind them if they're paint. So basically every tree in this level is paint, because we thought we'd hit upon the cheat mode of being able to get loads of trees in by making them using paint, and actually it turns out that it causes insane frame rate issues. Really bad frame rate issues. Anyone that's got Paint in VR will attest to this. I'm seeing loads of complaints. Basically, people saying don't use any Paint if you're trying to make something work in VR and keep that 30 frames per second consistent.
Right.
Because Paint is awful. It's great if it's used in moderation, and if it's used effectively, it can produce things that you can't get otherwise. But if you overuse it, it will ruin your game, and it will make it an unplayable, laggy, buggy mess. That it will just, it'll be terrible. We were quite lucky with this one because although there's frame rates on this one, it's not massively severe frame rates compared to what I have seen.
It's not dreadful,
but it's not, and but it is noticeable. It is definitely noticeable. So anyway, this is the old version, okay? And you can see the layout is pretty much the same, apart from the fact that we extended the length of the bridges, so this whole area is much further up here.
We didn't make the roads in this one. These are Lucis 2 roads,
so
and there's a massive problem with them,
which we will look at now. So early on, we weren't really making any props of our own. We were using community assets, and one of the assets that I was using heavily before I even met Anime Boy was Lucid Stew's City Streets kit, which contains roads, it contains buildings. It's a really good, really great looking kit. I really like it. However, one thing it is not is gameplay thermo friendly, which is this little one down here. And the problem with the gameplay memory is anything that you place in the level will contribute to this memory going up. And the problem is, if there are lots of sculpts, then that gameplay memory will go up further. So if we have a look at Lucid Stew's road, this is a road piece. This is a small road piece. We scope
Disobey the thermos me on a Tuesday.
You see that the actual road piece itself is actually multiple sculpts anyway. But then you scope in and you mirror again and you mirror again because he used mirror. So each of these road pieces, is actually taking up more gameplay than it needs to. There's like 3-4 separate sculpts in each road piece, and we have used them all through. And actually, to make the curves, to make the sweeping curves, I've taken even smaller pieces and cut them down even smaller. If I zoom in, I'm scoping in here like insanely. Okay, I've taken these little slivers of his road, and I have then placed one at one end, one at the other end, and I've just hit the left or right on the D-pad and created the clones so that they match, so they meet up with each other. And I've just done that to the max level. So they're very, very tight, very, very tightly packed. But even so, you still see these little lines in there. And you can notice this with the lights hitting them in the level as well, which is really frustrating. But you do get this nice sweeping curve. However, this is all one group.
Oh, so got that.
If I delete it, that curve alone is taking up 3% of gameplay. 3% gameplay memory just for that one curve of road. Okay. We've got more curves up here, done the same way. I think this one might be one. Yeah, I think that is a whole thing as well. So delete that one. That one's also 3% gameplay.
Yeah.
And that's not even the whole curve, because we've got this bit of road here.
Right.
I mean, there's these roads alone are taking up probably close to 20% of the gameplay memory.
How do you do the clones meeting up? That will be useful for my real bit.
Yeah, I can show you that. I can show you that real quick. If I take this.
Oh, I'm gonna just tell y'all right now. My mom and dad will be back from picking up my mama at work, and they're quite nosy. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
Atheists can vouch.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna Oh shit, I'm just gonna take that. Remove
My
it from
best
the
friend
group. Here we go.
disappeared.
Right, okay, so you get your piece, okay, and you can do it with the grid on or without the grid. It depends what you're trying to do. If you want to make like a perfect 90-degree corner, then probably the grid would be better, but I tend to just do it with no grid at all, because then you've got total control. So I'll try and explain what I'm doing button wise. Okay, so I'm going to clone first of all the piece L1 and R2, and then I'm going to let go of L1, but I'm holding R2. So I'm holding on to R2, not letting go of R2. I'm going to move it to the end point. So I want a curve about here. Okay. Actually, I can't make it too big because I haven't got the gameplay, because there's only 1% gameplay free. So I'll just make a small curve in this level. Okay. So once you've got it in roughly the position that you want it, you then hit the left D-pad button, and you see it makes a clone in the middle. Then you hit it again, and it makes another one. And you keep doing that, and it makes more and more and more. And then, still holding the R2, it's very important you keep hold of the R2 button, because if you let go, it will place it in that exact configuration. You see it there. So then you wiggle it around using your left stick, and you try and get it roughly level. So I'm trying to position it there, try and bring it back. You might also need to bring them down a bit. It's a little bit of trial and error. You also might want to hold L2 while still holding R2 so that you can rotate. There's a lot of finger gymnastics needed when doing the cloning on Dreams. It's one of those things that you will get the hang of if you practice, but it can be quite tricky because you have to hold down so many buttons at the same time. You won't get it perfect, but you can do that.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
Yeah, so I mean, there we go. So you need to play around with it a little bit to try and get it smooth, but that's roughly how you make it, and that'll work with any prop. You know, you can do that, and then when you're happy, you let go of R2, and then the best thing to do is just to group it, and then you've got a piece, and then you can always scope in. Yeah, because if you don't group it, you basically have 25 little slivers separate, and then that's just a nightmare. So at least if you group it, you can scope in, and if you have to do any fine adjustments. I mean, that's a little janky. I would take more time and stuff if I was doing it for real, but just for showing you the basics behind it, you know, that's essentially what you do. Oh, good. I'm glad you found that helpful. I think this is one of those things they do teach you in the tutorials. There is a tutorial where you've got to build a bridge, but it's quite tricky. I remember when I first did that tutorial, I didn't really get the hang of it at all, and I kind of just moved on. And it was only later on, you know, when I actually was making this level, actually, that I'd seen Killer Kiff in one of his sprint mountain race. He had done some really lovely sweeping roads. And I was trying to think, well, how did he get them so smooth, but with all the curves and things? And he used this same method, and I actually hit him up because he helped me with the very first level I made with some logic, and I hit him up and said, like, how'd you do it? Is it like this? And he was like, yeah, you're pretty much on the right track. You just need to make the pieces really small that you're going to use so that they are tight together. So, yeah, I thought, at the time, I thought this was a really good way to go, but it's very expensive, as we've seen on the gameplay thermo. Okay, so
yes.
it's not the optimum way to do it, but it's a good technique for certain things, definitely. So yeah, you can see the paint, you can see the problems with paint. I've used lots of different pieces of Lucid Stew's roads as well. So as well as being gameplay heavy, they're also quite graphics heavy as well. And if you reduce the graphic detail, then they do start to look quite janky, especially under lighting. So you kind of need to keep the graphics up quite high on them, which then means you have less graphics for other things. So just looking at some of the assets we've used in here, these are some early houses made by Anime Boy that I thought were really very nice. I
hate them.
But now you hate them because you've moved on so much. lots of Lucid Stew buildings have been used. And then we've basically just gone into them, added like glow and hue shifts and stuff. Most of the time that doesn't really look very good, but if you've got night lighting, then it kind of gives the effect of that, neon and things effect. This is a very nice apartment building by Ursreese, but it's also quite gameplay heavy each time you copy it. Oh, I can't even copy it because it takes up 2% gameplay or 1% gameplay each time, because there's lots of individual pieces. So the reason that things are gameplay heavy, and I think this is a good one to demonstrate why this is gameplay heavy, it's about the amount of unique sculpts that are in there. So there are 3 sculpts here, or so it seems, but actually no. Because then when we scope in, you see that this is actually made up of, well, 6 sculpts. But it's not, because then if we scope into that sculpt itself, you'll see that that is made up of this, these windows, which are separate, because the windows are a separate sculpt, so you can turn them on and off for lighting.
Too many pieces.
So
stop with the pieces.
So yeah, actually, is this 2? I think this is, yeah, this is 3. This is 3 sculpts, okay, for just this. Then if we scope out, you'll see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of those have been used for 1 tower. So that's 6 times 3, that's 18 sculpts. That's not taking into account these bits, which are also separate. So again, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 plus 18, so that's 23. So that's 23 sculpts in this 1 tower. And then there are another 23 over here, so that's 46. And there's another 18 here, so that is 64. So this 1 prop is 64 unique sculpts in 1 prop. So every time you're copying this 1 prop, you are copying 64 unique sculpts, which very quickly takes up your gameplay. Roughly, you can fit just over 100 sculpts per 1% gameplay. It's not an exact figure, it does vary depending on things like the level of detail and stuff, but roughly speaking, about 100 unique sculpts per 1% gameplay. So 3 of these, 1, 2, 3, okay, you're looking at 192 sculpts. That's nearly 2% gameplay for just 3 buildings that you use in there. When you're making the level as large as this, that is gameplay you just do not have. You do not have that gameplay to spare, really. If we compare that to one of Anime Boy's houses, I think we'll go with this one. So we can see that the house, actually it's all 1 sculpt, isn't it? You haven't even got the windows are separate. Oh no, you have. Yeah. Yeah, we've got 2 sculpts.
Those are painted.
So we have got, well, we've got 1 sculpt, which is this, which is the whole house is all in 1 sculpt. All the detail is 1 single sculpt. And then the second sculpt is not even a sculpt. It is just paint for the windows. And those are individual pieces of paint, which is not gameplay friendly either. But it does mean that you can turn on some of the lights by using glow. And make it look like, only half of the house is lit.
Right.
For instance.
Which is why we kind of lean more towards that than the other ones.
Hello, Bucket Zombie. Yeah, you recognise me because I remember you hijacked my stream once asking me to play a game of yours. I never said I would play it. You went off in a huff. Yes, I posted those words about memes because I 100% believe that memes are killing this game, and you make low effort vines and all sorts of stuff, and Dr. Jones was absolutely right with whatever they said. Okay, if you don't like it, well, I'm sorry, but there's plenty of kids out there that are playing the memes, but those of us that want to create arty stuff are really
I
sick
think
of
he's
it.
gone.
Okay, good. He was like, I knew I recognised your name. Yep, I knew you because you hijacked my stream once. You were very, very rude. Anyway, back to what we were saying.
He doesn't discourage everyone. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. He just hates people that put no effort into actual projects.
Right.
So like people who make 2-second memes and get like 1,000 likes in a week. You know, I think that's. I'm just mind my French. I think it's fucking bullshit because like seriously. This shit is getting fucking way out of hand, and I'm tired of it because it's the same shit every fucking day, and I can't.
No. And
I
yeah,
can't. There's no creativity.
I don't want to turn this stream into a rant against memes because that's for another day. But I will agree that it really disappoints me when I see projects that people put their heart and soul into get largely ignored on Dreams.
Pretty good.
And yet I look in, the most played stuff in the last 4 weeks, and there's some stupid Wario meme, or there's some stupid SpongeBob meme, or there's some, and it's all stuff that has been made in what looks like 10 minutes with minimal effort. And it's just like, why? Why are you using such a brilliant tool as Dreams to make such utter garbage when you could just take the time to make something truly special that people will remember? You're making disposable garbage if you're just recreating Vine and TikTok memes. Yeah, I'm way older than Anime Boy, I will say that, and I do not understand this whole meme culture and things one bit. I've never traditionalist. it. I've never liked it. I'm a old-fashioned traditionalist.
If you could take a guess how old he is, I'll send you $100. That isn't accurate. I am broke.
But anyway, where were we? Yeah, so we're just talking about thermo. We're just talking about how do you actually maximize thermo?
Oh shit, he's still here.
That's fine.
I applaud you for having balls, bro.
Yeah, that's it. They flood out. That's actually the perfect description. They flood out because every time I look on new trending Dreams, I'm having to scroll for ages past all the either a meme or some low effort. Hey, it's a work in progress. It's just a character in an empty level. Oh, I'll add more to it later. Will you?
Bucket Zombie, are you even trying?
Or
how old do you think I am?
Endless parade of Sonic, Mario, and Five Nights at Freddy's games that seem to be just, I don't know, it's like a plague on Dreams, honestly. It's
stop.
The plague. Anyway, that's my last word on the matter, because it will get me angry, and you don't want me to get angry on the stream.
Hey, don't be disrespectful, okay? If you don't like our stream, you can bucket. It's in your name.
Yeah, bucket. Exactly. I mean, dude, if you don't like it, don't watch. I don't watch your memes, okay? I don't like memes. I'm not going to waste my time watching them. You don't like this, don't watch it. Go and watch Ice Age Baby or something. There's plenty of that around.
Oh my god, you're such a dick.
Well, that was one of his last projects. What if Yoshi had an Ice Age Baby, had a baby, and that was in the style of TikTok? I mean, I didn't watch it. I just saw the thumbnail and I was just like, that hurts my head.
I'm confused because that shouldn't even be a thing.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It shouldn't, but anyway. Bottom line, memes are garbage. They're a waste of time and effort, and just keep them on GitHub. And yeah, we don't
keep memes on Pinterest, TikTok, and Facebook.
You can literally make a meme in 2 seconds on GitHub. Why would you spend any time at all making one on Dreams? I don't know. Anyway, enough. We're not here to talk about memes. We're here to talk about how to make stuff. We're here to talk about how to make your levels bigger, better, maximize that thermo.
With more trees.
With more trees. So, I think... I'm just
trees are my everything.
Oh yeah, background that we made is all sculpted with individual sculpts. Again, that's taking up gameplay.
Oh god, that's horrible. Oh, I can't even look at it. I told you from the very beginning that I hated that, and you're just like, oh, but people are gonna like it. They didn't even notice it.
It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, I'm fed up looking at this level now because it's very ugly now by our standards. So I'm gonna go out of that, and we're gonna look at
it's my turn.
Yeah. So let's have a look at the actual new version and see the difference. I'm gonna speak
tell me what
you want me to look
for
at.
a second. Just for a second, I'm going to be a nice person and tell you the basis of what he doesn't like memes. I am a person who I adore memes. I send memes to my friends all day. Hell, I even send some to him. Like, he probably completely blows them off, goes like, ha, that's funny, and just like, whatever. Because he's a lot older than me. I turn 20 next month. Okay, and he's like, you know,
I'm like an old man by his standards, so yeah.
Yeah, he sometimes reminds me of my father, kinda, but my dad's more hard up. But this is the whole thing. If you are going to create a meme in dreams, make it so funny to where I almost piss my pants, because a lot of these are same old, like the Wario apparition, then turning into SpongeBob, and turning into Siren Head. I think it's lazy because it is repetitive. It's the repetitiveness that makes it cringeworthy. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Because if you like post the same meme every single day on Facebook to your family's going to be like, okay, you need to stop. Because they're going to get annoyed. That's basically what he's saying, is that it is completely repetitive, and that there's no way of distinguishing this meme from this meme. No. Like the coffin dance meme that someone did that got like 1,000 likes, that was actually funny because that was just like the freaking picture. But
well, yeah, that was actually a high effort meme. I mean, I would say that is one of the few memes that I was actually like, you know what? That was actually well done. Because they took the time and effort to animate all the dancers.
Right, those were really good because like these people, they spent time. Right. That's the whole thing. That's his whole issue, is that people aren't spending time creating these things. It seems like it's mostly children between the ages of 8 and like 15, and they're completely just being repetitive. Doing the same thing over and over and over again. That was the same thing with Vine. Vine was having issues with repetitiveness, and that's kind of why it died. So unless you want the game to die because of this repetitiveness, because of all this same old crap, it would be better if you changed up your style a bit. Like the Ice Age Baby and Yoshi, that's a little weird, but I can kind of see where you're going for it, because like it's weird, it's strange, it's something new. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not. It's not at all, because I've seen that on Reddit, I've seen it on Tumblr, I've seen it on Facebook, I've seen it on Pinterest, I've seen it on every platform. So, yes, it is whatever you can dream, but if you're dreaming about memes, then what exactly are you thinking about in your head? Are you thinking about memes all day? Because your dreams are whatever you think will happen or what won't happen or what you want to accomplish in life. That's what dreams are meant to be, and that's what they want us to do on this game. They're giving us this platform to be able to create anything, which is fantastic. This beautiful platform where you can create an open world game, you can create a stupid meme, you can create a funny meme, you can create a shit ton of trees like I do. I probably made like 150 trees, not even kidding. Maybe like 250.
No. Maybe like 350. You've made way more than that.
Okay, whatever. I've redone palm trees a shit ton of times. I know that.
Okay.
But, Atheist here just doesn't know how to, pretty much put it into words, because he's just so confused by the dynamic of all these memes just being like,
so popular.
That, one of my favorite memes ever is,
so popular.
I'm in my mom's car, vroom, vroom, get out me car, aw. like, it doesn't make sense, but when you watch the video, it's just stupid. It's stupid, fun stuff like that that makes social media such a great platform for people who just want to, like, stay out of politics and stuff. And that's another thing I want to bring up is assholes who bring politics into dreams. Okay, I live in the United States. I have enough politics going on with the Black Lives Matter and all, and Trump and Biden and pedophiles and all that crap. And it's just like, I don't want to see that in dreams. I don't want to see BLM stuff pop in my thing. I don't want to see Donald Trump. I don't want to see Biden. I don't want to see any of that crap because I see it enough on the news, especially since I live in Florida. They're all about Trump. So all the stuff I see is Trump and everybody going against Biden. Like, I'm not for Biden myself, but I'm not exactly for Trump. Like, honestly, I have no political stance.
You're kind of like, well,
yes.
I wish there was a third option because those are two really shitty options to present me
I'd rather
with.
have Terry Crews be president, let's be honest.
Terry Crews. What,
Terry Crews would be a lit president, okay? Let's just say that, because he would come up on the stand, okay? He would come up on the stand shirtless and he would flex his pecs, and then he'd be like, rape is bad, and everybody would just lose their shit.
Oh man. Okay, so
all right,
yeah,
Bucket,
pretty much.
Do your thing. I'm putting it from my standpoint as a young person. Like, he has a completely different like view on the whole meme situation. I just think that
it's way past my generation. It's way past my generation to be able to even begin to comprehend meme culture. You know, I'm a teacher and my students do it and I have no idea what any of it means, you know. It confuses me. So yeah, I don't understand it. I try to understand it, I try to engage, but most of it, honestly, I just find very, very lame and very, very unfunny. You know?
So when he says these things in your comment section, he's not saying it against you. He's saying it against the whole like meme culture of dreams.
Right, exactly. It just so happened that
it's not singling out
brought up a comment that I found very funny.
Because literally, I was talking to him the other day. I'm like, I think I want to make a meme. He's just like, oh, why? So we can end up in the shitstorm of the rest of the memes. I was just like, I mean, why not? Like, I miss Vine. Vine was the thing. That's what I grew up on, was quoting Vines and shit. I was quoting Vines on Captain Morgan's thing like yesterday. Like, everybody was just like losing their shit, and I was like, yes, let's do this, because you know, my question for Bucket is. Just one more thing. How old are you? Yes, literally everyone goes through depression. Don't even. I've been depressed. I've been depressed since I was 11 years old. I'm a type 1 diabetic with scoliosis. I was bullied all throughout middle school and high school. I want to kill myself every single day, but you don't hear me talking about it. Well, you just did right now, but whatever. But yeah, everybody goes through depression, and I'm just gonna say this because this is what my family says to me. Buck up.
And I think on that word we'll stop talking about memes and we'll move on, because it's all getting a bit derailed now. And I know Panda has just said, can we please see the level? Yes, please.
I'm not trying to be a rude person, but when it comes to depression, literally everyone has depression. That is just 2020. That's just the stance of our world right now, is that everybody has attention.
Everyone is depressed because we're going through a global pandemic and everything is shit, but you know, we're dealing with it. And actually, one of the ways that we've dealt with it is through dreams.
Okay, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not a rude person. You can ask Russ, but when like I get to the peak where I have to be rude, I will be rude. I will be the rudest person you will ever meet.
Yeah.
I'm very brutally honest. I once told a lady that her baby looks like an alien, because he did. And it was freaking me out, and I was stocking shelves, and this baby kept staring at me, and I was like, can you get your alien to stop looking at me?
Okay.
Like, I'm tired. I'm angry.
Okay. Can we please?
Let us continue.
Can we please
showing
continue? Because I feel like I feel like it's the equivalent of like a photo bomb. You know, we're trying to do something and we've just gone.
How was that?
We've gone off. So.
Oh, did we just stop this boy? No, I'm playing. All right, so.
So look,
Panda.
How was the river made? Why don't you talk through the? Well, it's more like the ocean, but yeah, why don't you talk through your new wave strategy?
This is my new wave strategy. I either use an action recorder or I use a timeline. And What you got to do is you got to make sure that the water goes under the ground as soon as you get it like close to the shore. You want it to go under the ground and then kind of like pass through underneath and then come back up, and it works swimmingly. Haha. And you know, it looks like waves, and what you also want to do is you want to make sure that the wave sound comes, you know, higher, like it sounds louder when the wave comes in. So what you can do, you can either have that on the timeline, you just turn it up, or you can have the actual sound on the wave. I didn't do that this time. I'm actually about to do that.
I actually put the waves. On a well, where is it? There's a microchip down here with like wave sounds and things. And I put the trigger zone.
Thank you, Bucket. I appreciate
that. Yeah, trigger zone for the waves, so that they basically have a little bit of a fall off, which means that they don't sound as loud the further they get to the edge of the fall off. If you don't know what fall off does, it's like a gradual difference. So that gives you that sort of effect of, you know, stuff is kind of at a distance. So as you're driving down the road, you can hear them, but not as clearly as if you're right on top of them. You can hear that nicely there. I also found
Disobey,
really
what
nice,
did you do in Orlando?
Really
Speaking of Orlando,
nice
I might move
effect.
there. I don't know.
Crap.
Would you do in Orlando?
Yeah. So we've got a couple of wave effects, ocean waves and beach and stuff. And that's on a separate trigger zone, so that just triggers when you're here. And again, using fall off so that there's a gradual building of the sound. Little things like ambient sounds make a difference, especially if people choose to play with their music off. Because if you don't have the ambient sounds around the level, then it'll just be really, you'll just hear the car engine.
Nice.
That's all. But yeah, I mean, these waves are really, really cool. And what have you got? I mean, if we look at the waves, you see that they are. I think I need to stop it so that I can.
I'm so happy my parents are home right now. They would have heard my whole conversation.
Yeah. So there we go. The waves are sculpts, separate. Oh, and we lost Anime Boy. His Wi-Fi must have gone out. Dope. So these are the waves. They're separate sculpts. To the water, you get the colour right. I think there's also a second layer of the water, maybe. Yeah, so there's like a second layer just underneath the first layer, which gives it that sheen. And there's various effects placed on there, like wave and things on the sculpt itself. And all that combines to create that kind of moving effect that you get. So that's the waves. So you can see this level looks a lot more full than that previous one. I hope he can rejoin the party. How much thermo is the water? Very little. Because it is just like one sculpt, all in one sculpt. So I think these are separate sculpts so that they can move independently. It's having trouble latching on to the actual thing. There we go. Yeah. Oh no. So that's actually all in one sculpt. So this is a piece that contains the waves and the two layers. So there's three sculpts in there. There's a little timeline which basically does all the animation of the waves via keyframes. So very minimal. Very minimal.
My fuse literally just blew.
Oh, not the old fused problem again. I was just showing the guys the water, because Panda was like, how much is the thermo for the water? And I was just showing that it's really just three sculpts: the waves, the water, and the second
water
layer.
ain't nothing.
No, the water's nothing. I mean, you could delete all the water and you wouldn't even get 1% gameplay.
Water out of paint is laggy.
Yeah.
It will make everything lag so bad. So don't do that.
So Yes, so you'll notice that gameplay and graphics are both at 100% thermo. Now, here's a common misconception about Dreams, that you shouldn't let your thermo get to that level. Well, yes and no. So graphics doesn't really matter, because that is how much stuff is able to be placed in the scene. So you've got two different thermos. There's a thermo that's working while you're playing in real time, which you can see in analysis mode as you're playing your level, and that tells you how much graphics and gameplay is being used at that particular moment. And then you've got the thermo in the level itself. This is the ceiling for the level itself. So you can't have more than 100% of either. But you can go way above that in the level itself, and that will cause lag and frame rate drops and all sorts of problems, because that's determined on what you're looking at.
What I think would be a good idea is if you showed analysis mode going through some parts of the track. Good
idea. Yep. So for those of you that don't know about analysis mode,
I'm 20.
It's extremely useful to see how to optimize. As I said earlier, we haven't got consistent frame rate 30 frames per second in this level, but it's around sort of 27, 28. There are too many trees for that. But you know, it still works well. So this is analysis mode. See the graphics cost and the bottom gameplay cost. That's at this moment in time how hard the processor is having to work. So you see there, the graphics cost is going over 100% because of so much stuff being in the scene.
Yeah.
But that's because it's very zoomed out, so it's looking at a lot of stuff.
The Delano! Really proud of that building. How long did that building take me? That was like an hour and a half?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Not long.
It didn't take me very long, but it was definitely very difficult to make because the shapes of its Art Deco style was very fun and to do.
So you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see the graphics are going over 100%. So we could still do a bit of optimization in certain parts of the level, so that wasn't
we lost 4 viewers.
The case. But this is the mode you want to be in while you're playing your level, because as long as it doesn't go above 100%, you shouldn't experience any actual frame rate losses. You see there, slowdown as it went into 101%. And then as he gets into the more detailed areas, it's sort of down to 27, 26.
Oh yeah, you've never heard my voice before, Hucklepuff Panda. This is me. This is my ghetto self. What's up? How y'all doing?
It's definitely something that we can work on more with this level, but it's a case of identifying what is causing it. I think it's really just the sheer amount of stuff that the game is drawing that mainly is causing it.
He's gonna blame the trees. Watch, he's gonna blame the trees.
No, it's not just the trees, it's everything. It's the amount of details on the screen at one time, because you've got the lights, you've got the buildings, you've got, yes, the trees, you've got everything. And the views, you know, when you have those big expansive views, it's drawing more stuff on the screen.
I think what we could do is we could have the water only turn on when you come near the ocean, which I think would be a good idea.
Well, that could work. However, that more affects the other side. So the gameplay cost on the right hand side, the gameplay cost is the one that you really need to watch, because that's the one that can really very quickly screw over your game and cause massive lag. The gameplay cost is when it is doing processing for things like
Panda, literally everyone thinks I'm a girl,
trigger
so it don't bother me.
Animation, you know, lighting. It really doesn't like too many lights at the same time. And what can happen is if you've got too many things running at the same time, that can skyrocket. Good example, Anime Boy's Key Largo map that he has since fixed the problem on. But when he first made it, at the start of the level, there was so much slowdown until you got to a certain part. And we looked on analysis mode and gameplay cost was at 400+%. And we were like, holy shit, how is that possible? And it turned out that because he had, on every single palm tree on his beach area, he had a trigger zone linked up to an action recorder that made the trees sway. The problem was that the fall off on the trigger zone was really quite wide, and that fall off was extending to the starting point of the level. So there were literally 40 of these trigger zones all being triggered at the same time at the start of the level, which was causing that gameplay cost to skyrocket.
Yo, Ace, we had 103 likes on Ocean City.
Very nice.
Hey, I'm gonna follow the creation.
So Anime Boy is the American, Atheist is the Brit. Yes.
America.
Yes.
Florida in his house. I'm not even from Florida.
No. So
I'm from the D.
That's analysis mode. That is really a useful tool to use to help you to optimize your levels. That will tell you exactly what is going on in real time at any given moment based on where your camera is actually looking. And that can help you identify those problems, you know, where you are like literally slow into a crawl or seeing the noticeable frame rate.
Hello, fifth viewer, whoever you are, give yourself a shout out in the comment section. Never mind.
So I want to talk about the roads because, as we said earlier, the Lucid Stew roads we used in the first version were extremely gameplay heavy. These roads here are the exact opposite. So these roads are initially made by Ninjuana, who also makes the chassis that all our cars are based upon. He is actually an employee of Media Molecule, according to his bio. He's one of the web developers, so I think he works on like the In Dreams website and stuff, which is really cool. But he makes a lot of really good logic and, you know, things that he does quite a lot of racing stuff. He does a lot of cars. He makes a lot of cars drivable using his chassis. But he made these roads, and they were all different road pieces. In fact, I'll just import them in. Because I'll just search for them. Oh, I can see them actually. They're just there. I'll just import them in.
I'm gonna just say this real quick. Bucket, we're not saying you have to stop making memes. I'm just saying make them interesting.
Right. Yeah. Don't just make the same thing that everyone else is making. Okay.
You don't have to stop doing what you love. That's not what we're here for. We're not those types of people that stop you from what you're. We're not the government. We can't tell you what to do. Do what you want.
Yeah, exactly. Just don't be surprised if certain people don't like what you're doing because it's sort of going against what we kind of feel Dreams.
Right, because everybody has their own opinion, and
right.
I don't know why, but like when you express your opinion these days, it's like you got a gun to your head.
Exactly. So I just imported these roads in. So you see they take up 12% graphics, but that is for all of these pieces. Most of that is for the curves. Each of these curves take up about 2% graphics maybe for each curve. The straights don't take up hardly anything. So what I basically did with these is Ninjuana's originals are literally just the road shapes, but with they've got like yellow lines. They're not American roads at all, so they didn't really look right. And we wanted some roads that we could reuse because they are so gameplay friendly. We wanted roads that you could reuse for our levels. So I painted them all in the American style. And then because I thought that might be useful for other people, I released it as a remixed creation. I
should have told them I wasn't doing it.
Yeah. So I did it. I'll just go into not that one, that one. So I added a few extra pieces as well, just like 4-lane roads, intersections, 2-lane to 4-lane, and then I made these curve pieces for various curve types, just using that inside clone or outside clone method that I showed you earlier, where it's literally just pieces together. But I actually made those for another level that we haven't released yet, which needed lots and lots of curvy roads for smoothness. So these are all in one sculpt, and the reason you want to use your roads in one sculpt as much as possible is because when you've got your car, if you have lots of small pieces, then it will pick up the bumps in between. So if you take this piece, oh god, there's too much, like literally we can't create anything in this level because it is at the max. But, you know, if you have the roads, you will have all the little pieces, little bumps, and the car will pick it up unless you do lots of tweaking and things with the suspension and the logic, because it's not really suspension, it's smoke and mirrors, it's the illusion of suspension. So it's far better to have large pieces so that those gaps and those joins are less noticeable. You'll still notice it, but it will be more natural, because no road in the world is smooth perfectly. There's all bumps and unevenness and camber and all these things. But what roads aren't is bump, 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 bump. Well, unless you're in maybe Detroit or Chicago, which is very famous for its potholes.
Don't be dogging on it. But yeah, he's not wrong.
Yes, I am Welsh, Panda. Yes, I am originally.
He is very Welsh.
Oh, Porthcawl, very nice. Yeah, I went to Southern Down Beach, just down from there, the other week, actually, for the day. Although the tide was in, which was really annoying. We had to sit on the rocks all day.
That was like a week and a half ago, bro.
Don't know. Bit more than that. I lose track of time during the time of COVID.
COVID.
So yeah, these roads are just really gameplay friendly. You can place like 50-60 pieces before it even takes up 1% of gameplay. So very, very useful for making large levels like this. So you see the layout is almost the same as the old version. The only thing that's different is we extended the bridges and we added this extra little section. So whereas the old one sort of came over the bridge, came down this road, came back up the bridge, we actually added a little section where you go down the avenue, come around the corner into the neighborhood, back down the avenue, and then across the bridge. And it's a longer bridge because animeboy actually moved like everything across in the earlier stages of development. It was like 300 pieces, wasn't it, that you had to select and then move
316.
just to be able, just to be able to extend the bridge about 3 times as long. But yeah, totally worth it. So the end result is I have actually grouped all these roads, but I'm pretty sure that if I delete them, well, maybe anyway, all the roads are grouped. I've grouped all the roads so I could change the colour of the roads to that sort of Miami grey, which it has. And if I delete them, if it doesn't say it's too big, which I don't think it will. Oh, there we go. 2%.
Nope.
That only takes up
not.
2% gameplay for every single road in this level. So
we
the
did not
difference
do that, Huggable Panda.
is nearly like 20% for Lucid Stew's roads in the other one. What did she say? Oh, did you, Lord? Sometimes we do. For this one I did. For this one originally I did, because the old version I started making myself and I drew out a really rough kind of layout and stuff. But sometimes we do, like a New York level that we made, I drew it out, I went on Google Maps, I actually like worked out the route based on the real roads and what would work and where the landmarks were and all that sort of thing. Another track that we're working on based on the Californian coast, animeboy drew out a sketch of like how it would go and where the key parts would be.
Producer.
But sometimes I think we are now more because we're getting more experienced with this level design thing. You didn't for Crescent, did you? Crescent City, you just like winged it and you just created it on the fly.
Yeah.
You didn't do any planning for that one.
No.
That turned out pretty good. But yeah, I mean, it is a good idea to draw stuff out. It helps you get an idea, and I did place the roads first on this one originally, and then obviously when we came to redo it I had to replace all the roads, so I had to get rid of all the Lucid Stew roads, replace them with our roads to save on the gameplay.
The Tommy apparition,
that took a while. What? Oh, the Tommy apparition, that's literally just that's exactly the sort of thing. You take a meme and you just change one thing.
If y'all could excuse me, I have to urinate. And
then 100 people make 100 variations of the same meme. That's what's really annoying. Anyway, not here to talk about memes. Yeah. So I'll let him come back before we talk about some of the other things he did. Let's have a look at the lighting. Go back in. So the lighting is really important in any level, really, to bring it to life. There's different types of lighting that you can use. There's spotlights, which look amazing, but they're very thermo heavy, and they will cause a lot of problems if you have even like 2 or 3 of them in the same screen, because of spotlight shadow. So you want to use those sparingly. You want to use those as like key lights and things. Whereas the diffuse light, which is literally just a toggle on the light gadget, like you literally just go there and it turns it into a spotlight and a diffuse. The diffuse lights, though, are much more gameplay and thermo friendly, and these can be used to put all your ambient lighting around. And with both of the lights, when you click on the light, then you'll see this, which is the point of light, and it's got a circle, it's got a globe around it, and you can move this wherever you want. So if I wanted this light here, this light could actually be lighting something over here. You see how the light is following it? And then what you can also do is you can increase the area of the light. So you can do that one of 2 ways. You can either go into the tweak menu and increase this brightness, and you'll see the actual sphere has now increased in size, but actually that's increasing the brightness of the light more than anything. Whereas if you just wanted to cover a bigger area, then you just hover over this little point here, you press up on the D-pad, and you'll see it then covers a larger radius. So that's really useful to cover large areas with just one single light. You can also grab it and move it up and down, and that gives you different lighting effects depending on whether you want a soft or a harsh light. So that would be quite a harsh light. You see that area there, very, very lit, very, very yellow. If you place the dot further down into the ground, you can actually get a much subtler light. So you can experiment with lighting. You can experiment with it and use it in areas that you think would have ambient light. So these are neon, but neon itself doesn't really produce a massive amount of light. You know, this neon is just paint, basically. You just have to scope in a couple. Yeah, this is just paint with glow. But even if you have emit light from glow, it doesn't give you that nice lighting effect. To get that lighting effect, you have to use the diffuse light as well. Yeah, if you turn that diffuse light off, you see the light goes off, and you see there's barely any light actually on the ground then from the neon itself, because that neon is only lighting laterally from where it's positioned. There's no way to say this light source light this bit. It's literally, if you place something there directly in front of it, it will light it up like the 4th of July. But it's not giving you any control over where you want your lighting to be. So that's why you want to use diffuse lights to create that. And you see we've done this all the way down this area, where there's signs, where there's neon. And it helps give it that Miami feel. Yeah, you can add me, Panda. Feel free. Disobey. Oh yeah, you are. I just looked at your avatar. You're Jordan from the Facebook group, am I right? Because yeah, you did say about the billboards and things. Ever thinking of adding traffic in some maps, NPC cars or people? People no, because puppets take up a lot of gameplay, and in an open world level like this it wouldn't be possible to have them. Traffic, yes, in certain maps that we're working on we are adding some traffic, but it's quite tricky because of the gameplay factor, so you have to sort of build it in. So we're working on a map at the moment that will have traffic integral to the map itself. But we still have to work out how to efficiently generate that traffic without blowing up the thermo, and also make it look smooth, because it's going to be on, you know, a sort of road and everything. As for NPC traffic, I did add some cars that I made specifically to be background cars in this level, in car parks and things. I'm trying to find them because for some reason I always get a little bit
Blood
lost.
sugar was low, so I made a sandwich. Damn that diabetes.
Okay. I'm just showing. I'm just losing myself. Here we go. Yeah. So I made these simple 1% thermo cars. There's a car and an SUV, and I made them specifically to be background props. And you can place quite a few of them before the, you know, you can place 42 of these cars for 1% gameplay, for instance. If you wanted to make them traffic cars, then you can scope into it, and you can take the wheels, which are all one sculpt at the moment. You could delete these back ones, you can copy this one, and then you could add, or you could add copy one and make 4, depending on whether you wanted to use rotators or whether you wanted to do the cheaper way of rotating wheels, which is using action recorders to spin them around, which has its own problems. So, I mean, you could use them if you wanted them to look like actual traffic. They would just cost a little bit more, but as background cars,
Well, Panda,
they're very,
you
very
can find
cheap.
them at Atheist SW on the Dreams thing.
Yeah, they are
will be,
available. They are free for anyone to use in the levels.
Realistic sedan and realistic SUV.
SUV, yeah, I believe that's what I call
Right.
them. So
Oh my
yeah,
God,
I mean,
Bessie, hi.
it's difficult. It's difficult with the limitations when you're making an open world to have those kind of details, especially traffic and pedestrians. Maybe on PS5 it will be possible, but pedestrians, in particular, you know, they take up a lot of gameplay. Even if you delete
Captain
the
Morgan
logic.
just texted me. Is it on YouTube or Twitch?
It is YouTube.
It is YouTube.
Tell him that the link is actually on the Facebook group.
I just sent him the link.
Oh, okay, even better. Would you like to talk? I was just talking a little bit about diffuse lighting while you were away, just in showing the difference between the neon and how neon lighting doesn't actually allow you to show where you want the light to be, and how diffuse
I don't know. Let's
allows
ask
you to
Asuna
do
if
it.
I would like to talk. Asuna, do you think I would like to talk?
Yeah, Momo to God. Yeah, Jordan. Yeah, I've just clicked 2 and 2 together. Yeah, and
That's my
I
homie on the
think
other
I'm
side
gonna
of
make.
Florida.
I think I'm going to make some more variations as well for our level, more low thermo models. I just got to get round to it. There's so many things to make for our game.
Yo, Momo, did you get hit by that hurricane, Tropical Storm Laura? Because I heard that thing was pretty rough.
Wow.
We just got like the cutoff. We got like the thunderstorms up here.
Yeah, crowd standing and cheering. I think that could be done using like paint or something. But if you look at the crowd in a lot of even AAA games, like rally games are a good example. Play like Dirt Rally or something, or even just the Dirt, you know, Dirt 3, Dirt 4, that kind of game. If you actually look at the crowd, maybe not on PS4, but on PS3 and PS2, they were just cardboard cutouts. They were just pixelated cardboard cutouts.
No, they still do that on PS4.
They still do that on some
PS5,
games.
They're still going to do that, yeah.
On some games, like Gran Turismo Sport, the crowd are actually 3D models. The people are actually 3D models. They're quite low poly, but they are 3D models because you can go into the photo mode in the race and you can take pictures of them.
Here comes my favorite person ever, my dog Lucy. Come here, baby.
People have taken
Hi,
pictures of them, you know. But yeah, you could do stuff like that with paint in Dreams. It probably would be a good idea. But I feel like for the street levels, at least,
Actually,
it could work. Again,
Momo,
it's just the gameplay.
we are going to be doing a highway track.
I just said about that. Yeah, I just said that one of the projects we're working on is going to have traffic integral to the level itself.
Will we tell you what state it's in? No.
Clue, it's in America.
Clue, another hint, it's in the South.
I'm just gonna give a little sneak peek for anyone that wants to play our game and find all the prize bubbles. One of them is quite devious. It's right
nice
here at the top of this multi-story car park.
Our newest track that we just finished, that will be out in September.
The newest track that we just finished. Are you talking about the coastal track?
Yes, I am talking about the coastal track. Wow, look at me being a sellout.
Okay, yeah, I suppose we could. I mean, it's not quite finished. It has got some issues, and the handling is not done.
We got Beth in this bitch.
But I guess we could give a sneak peek of it. Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's give a sneak peek. Let's quit out of this one. Let's give a sneak peek.
This is a rated PG.
We'll come back to this one. We'll come back to this one. But I will say, yeah, whatever. Your rant about memes, it's kind of like that rant that Steve Martin has with the car rental place and Planes, Trains and Automobiles. It's like the one rated R part of the whole movie, so whenever they show it on like afternoons on TV, they always just cut that entire scene because everything else is pretty much mellow.
My personality
and then
is
that one is just like rage. So yeah, that was your Steve Martin moment, where you just went off about memes and everything.
Okay, Jordan, that's good. I'm glad that y'all didn't get hit over there. We just been getting constant rain.
What are we looking for? What are we looking for? We're looking for Pacific Coast. Okay.
It's just been so shitty. It's like...
Wait, I'm looking in the Dream of Earth, not in my creations.
Plus with COVID, you know, like, you gotta wear a mask everywhere. It's like, why even go anywhere?
Okay, so this level is about a sneak peek, because it's... We did put some pictures of it on the Facebook group maybe a month or so ago, where it was almost finished. And since then, we've handed it over to Night Owl, and he's in the process of
do the flowers
doing
yet?
things.
I don't think I did
No, you haven't done the flowers. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'm gonna show the level first of all in the edit mode, because this has got to be the largest level in Dreams. I mean, we have literally gone from one side of the map to the other. You cannot go any further because it makes things disappear if you go any further. We can make it like
really tiny. We can make it really tiny.
But
to
even
make
so,
like just like the longest track ever, but the car would probably be like shit. Okay. Aw, poor Lucy's getting scared of the storm.
Hey, what's up, Bethaniel?
What's up?
Okay, so here's our starting point. Like I say, this is work in progress, so any jankiness that you'll see is to be fixed.
Share us with your friends. Like and subscribe if you like the video. This
is the track from one end to the other. It's a point-to-point race.
Ignore the triangle in the corner.
Yeah, it's a point-to-point race along the Pacific coast.
Going from Carmel, Big Sur, California to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Live! It's Saturday Night Live!
We also have a secondary route that takes up maybe a quarter of the track. So at this point, it splits, and you can go up into the mountains, and yeah, you can go up past this like
Hey, I
lake,
feel you, Jordan, because
then it
rains way too much.
This beautiful forest with redwoods.
That is Lake Tahoe.
It's supposed to be Lake Tahoe, yeah, and then it's like the redwood forest, and you come out with some vineyards.
How do you make these cool hills? This is actually a pretty tricky thing. I sculpted a huge majority of the things in this level. I did those apartments, the Spanish buildings, trees, some of the mountains, a lot of the
just to show you how big this level is. If I clone a piece...
Oh, and the clouds.
If I clone a piece and I take it, okay, too far from the origin. That means this is the actual edge of the buildable area. Yeah, that's the edge of the
Yeah,
buildable
literally
area.
that water right there where it ends that's the end of dreams. Like, you can't go any further than that.
And if you go this way...
And what I find really stupid about the whole thing
Stupid left stick is broken. Yep, there we go. That's the edge of there. So we're literally from the edge of the edge.
What I find really dumb about the whole thing is that it deletes the object. Like,
Yes.
other video game
Very
platforms where you can create stuff, it just stops you from continuing.
Right, it's like an invisible
It doesn't say
wall.
the object is deleted. But let's say you have a car, right? And for some reason that car is just being, like, really stupid. Excuse me. The car will actually just disappear.
Well, it's like when you want to test
not...
something. It's like when you want to test something you've built about 3.5 minutes into the track, and you want to. So you put the car over here to test it, and then you want to put the car.
Building space.
Then you want to put the car back at the start, so you're dragging it all the way back to the start. But oh no, you've overshot the start, and it's gone and deleted. It's gone and deleted it.
Why don't you go ahead and just drive a little bit?
Yeah, let's go and see.
Go ahead and show them. There ain't no cutscenes yet.
Yeah, this is still in the I don't know, what would you call it? Alpha stage?
We call it
I don't know.
alpha development.
The handling isn't even right yet, so yeah.
Actually, it might be in beta development.
No, beta would suggest that we'd want to release it in this format for testing. I wouldn't want to release this yet. Maybe not even alpha, to be honest. There's still so much that is not like...
Okay, so what we're gonna call this, it ain't completely done, but it's almost done stage.
It's like 95% complete, I'd say.
We still need to tweak some crowns, maybe...
Yeah.
Yeah, pre-alpha. Thank you,
There's pre-alpha, yeah, thank you. There's a lot of play testing need to be done to fill in like gaps and stuff in the ground.
Best friend, where you at?
She popped up.
I ain't heard from you.
She popped up. She was like, because I'm your friend, nothing. You're my friend or something. I don't know.
She cheeky like that.
So yeah, you can see that there's like a lot of things, yeah, with the side of the road and stuff, the you know, things don't quite go. And obviously because it is such a big level, we can't put as much stuff in the area. These flowers are going to go because they're paint and they kill the frame rate. So those are going to be replaced with sculpts.
So
this is the Bixby
funny
Bridge.
Because the track was supposed to be a chill one with like barely any trees, and I came up with the idea of doing a two-way. So you can choose whichever path you want to take.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, should we take the secondary path or should we just take the normal path? I'll let you choose. Okay, let's take the normal path. So at this point, you'd be able to go up in the mountains, or you can go here. But actually, we're just going to follow the main path.
We're going to follow the coast because we need to get to LA ASAP. Because I'm going to miss my Starbucks appointment.
You see a little waterfall there on the side.
I'm going to drink this pop.
You can see the coast.
I am out.
Oh no.
So this is a sad day for me. We gonna call each other by our code names. Oh shit, both of our names start with R. Not bad, my levels will not be that big. More on realism like Bad Robo in the future. Yes,
yeah.
I do a lot of those too.
Yeah.
In case you haven't checked out Costa Rica by animeboy0021, please do, and leave a like.
Check out Costa Rica, definitely.
I feel like such a YouTuber right now. I can do this! I can do this! Who wants me to be a YouTuber? Put a thumbs up in the comment section. I will run the game! Look, I just got so much confidence right now, and then my parents are gonna come home, and I'm just gonna be like drained.
So this was the level that I actually like remixed those roads for, because the size of this level and the amount of roads that we need,
Lizard Stews would not have worked. We wouldn't have had.
We wouldn't have been able to place anything else. I mean, you'd literally have used all the gameplay on just the roads with the amount of roads that we've used.
We maybe have like 3 palm trees. California. I've actually seen something like that in dreams. I was very disappointed. excited.
So yeah, I mean, there's handling work needs to be done with the suspension and stuff because at the moment, you know, there's a lot of like bumpiness and things, but that will
y'all
get
don't want to
ironed
watch
out.
me make trees. I'm gonna tell you right now, like, if a branch gets all messed up, I will swear for an hour. He's heard me.
He gets very emotional about his tree making. It's true.
If it don't look right, I get pissed. I would get demonetized like ASAP because like the way I talk is not something you. I'm very trashy. I don't mean to be. It's just the way I grew up. My parents are bikers. My family's bikers, and then on the other side, the crackheads. So, and then there's my mom's saint of a mother. Right? Oh my god, my phone's dying. Yay! Always.
Plug it in.
I don't have to listen to you. You ain't my mama.
You see, we've got a gradual drop to nighttime here as we go through, which is going to be. I think we're just going to put it on a timeline rather than what you've got at the moment. Because at the moment you've got it sort of triggering at various points. But yeah, here we go. We finish.
One day you will make my
Finale.
trees like look into anime soul. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but
I think she's saying one day you will make Huggable Panda her trees that she wants for her level, and then she's looking into your soul. Like, yeah, I don't know what that means. But yeah, she's looking into your soul. She's trying to penetrate your
right?
soul.
Oh my god, background noise. Like, my parents are constantly screaming at the TV. They will just yell. Like, if somebody doesn't do a tattoo right on Miami, because that's what they've been watching lately, they will just freak out. They'll be like, "That's so jagged." It's like, shut up. They can't hear you. Plus, that was filmed in 2006.
Yeah, for all you know, they could have, like, you know, passed on by now. That was a long time ago.
They did.
So this level, because it is so big, we can't put the level of detail that we like to put in, because obviously we've got to spread it out.
Ventura.
But yeah, even so.
Thank you, random person in the background. Yeah, show Ventura.
So this is Ventura, which is a small little city park.
He did Ventura, and he did a great job.
Why, thank you.
I had to replace the trees again.
Yeah, because they were painted and you replaced them with... These are the sculpted ones?
Show my new one! They
Which
will be
new one?
out soon. The Mexican fan palms. What do you think I'm talking about?
Oh. Where are we
Only ones that
looking?
are sculpted in this entire level, pretty much.
What, these ones?
Oh my god. The tall ones.
Oh, those ones. No.
Yes.
Yes, these.
Look at those twists. Do like a Michael Bay
Yeah,
turnaround thing.
You can see this sculpt. Well, let me find one that doesn't have a big ass building getting in the way of it. Oh, this one. This one's got a lot of nice space. Here we go. It's the Michael Bay. Do, 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 do. There we go. Showcase.
What in the M&M ripoff was that?
I don't know. I was trying to come up with some Michael Bay-esque music, but actually he tends to have that more like sort of rock kind of jin jin jin, jin 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 jin. Yeah, it's really epic though, isn't it? You know, a start of a Michael Bay movie is just like dun dun dun. Yeah.
I think he gets off on explosions.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. I get off on explosions. He explodes to his explosions.
He really does. He really, really does.
Wow.
Okay. Anything else you want to like mention or talk about in this particular scene that you want to...
show them redwoods.
I did show them redwoods. I showed the very beautiful redwood scene with the
lighting. You did not
lighting.
show the redwoods.
I did. I said, look at this
I did not see
beautiful
you
scene.
show the... Why is
Okay.
you lying to me? Show the redwoods.
Okay, so this is the redwood forest area. There's
No,
fog.
huggable panda. It would be sploosh.
There is fog that is being used to give it that sort of foresty effect. There's also spotlights being used to create the lighting, like those sort of god rays coming through the tree line.
You know, if my best friend fell asleep, I'm fine with that. She got a newborn baby. That's my godchild.
Oh, nice. There we go. Light. Yeah, so these are spotlights. So this is when, you know, you can use spotlights because the level of light that they provide is obviously much more than diffuse. All you gotta do is
turn off spotlight shadows, and then when you come into the area with your car, you have them turn on.
Yeah, use a keyframe to turn on the spotlight shadows, so they're only on when you're in the actual area. You've actually got them on here though. At the moment, you haven't actually taken them off on this level. You did that on.
No.
You did that on Ocean City. You did that on Ocean City, but you haven't done it on this level yet. So that's something we can do on this level.
Hi, Huggable Panda. Thank you for watching. You were great.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Panda. I'll accept your friend request when I'm done with this.
I don't have your trees yet, but I will definitely have them soon. I've been saying that for a month. I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you found some of this useful to help you.
Yeah.
And yeah, feel free to use any of our assets in your own projects. That's why we put them out there. We like to see them used in good stuff. They might also get used in memes, but that's an occupational hazard when you publish things in Dreams. But, you know, I'm always very happy when I see something that I have made being used in a not meme. So, yeah, please do feel free.
Beth, Transformers 4, yeah, it wasn't the best, but can we all agree how hot Mark Wahlberg... No, I'm playing.
Transformers 4 was bad, Woo! Transformers 3 was bad, Transformers 2 was bad, Transformers 1 was okay with the effects, they were new at the time, but...
Shia, not so buff.
Shall we go back into... Not that one, that one. Shall we go back in and continue just talking about sculpting and low thermo buildings, and how you can
Ain't that why we're doing the stream, though?
Well,
I'm surprised I've gone this long without my parents yelling at me.
Yeah, we are, but we haven't talked about... We haven't talked about buildings. We looked at a building earlier. We looked at a building that was very thermo-heavy, that was 64 unique sculpts earlier.
Show my new hotel, because I love it.
Yes,
I love it.
Actually, there is one that is just around here. I'm going to go into studio mode, because I always like going in studio mode when I'm showing these things. So...
Oh, I could sleep.
This is Randy's, or Anime Boy... Oops. Slip of the tongue. Everyone now knows your name.
Y'all know my name. They already know my name, dingus.
YouTuber, everybody knows your name. So this is
my name's not. Oh wait.
This is his hotel that I don't think you've actually made this public yet, have you? You published it so we can put it in a prize bubble. But you haven't actually made it public. So this is what you would call a modular piece. It has no back. You could have mirrored it though, couldn't you? Let's be honest. You could have mirrored that so it was four-sided. It wouldn't have made a big difference to the thermo.
And to you, sir, I say shush.
But I'm just saying that it doesn't actually save any thermo by not mirroring. It's just, yeah, you didn't do it for whatever reason. But you know, this is a perfect kind of.
That's not a good one to show because you need all three pieces. So you need the thing that like.
The thing. The thing? What thing? There's a thing?
Go to the Palmera. Go to the Palmera.
Oh, the other thing.
Yeah, the other thing. Yeah, on that one.
Palmas.
To that pink one.
Oh, this thing. Yeah, this piece.
That thing. There you go.
Yes.
Las Palmas. That is very weird how the text keeps changing for me. It still says La Palmera.
There is a very strange bug in Dreams where if you collaborate, then your collaborator sees old versions of text boxes. We noticed it with text boxes in the Empire City level that we did, and I'm pretty sure it's the same reason that Insane Artist is having issues with the text in the Disdained game, where he says everything is fine, but it's coming up as test, and it's a strange bug. It really is. I'm hoping will acknowledge and fix it at some point because it is quite annoying. Okay, so this is the full version of the piece. So you've got separate sculpts for this, which, as you saw on the other version, was deleted, and then you've got a sculpt here, which is for all-in-one sculpt, and then you have got a sculpt which is for the windows. And this is really clever. If you look at the way that he has painted this, this is what actually gives it that effect of the lights, some being on, some being off.
Yes.
And of course, that's all on one sculpt as well.
Like
that's all done. That's all done on the sculpt paint.
It looks like a bookshelf.
Kind of does, yeah. It kind of does when you take it out of context. And then that means that once you actually
bookshelf.
once you actually go into the lighting mode, you'll see, you know, oh look, some of it's lit and some of it isn't. It also means though that you can make different color lights using
Ta-da! Isn't it beautiful?
And you can have separate color for the building itself.
No, he can't exactly copy them to show you how many you can do before 1%, because we're pretty much at max capacity.
There are 3 sculpts. There are 3 sculpts, and when there are 3 sculpts, that means you can place a lot of them per 1%. Oh, I just changed the color of that.
And before y'all asked, yes, he is an atheist.
Yeah.
As well am I.
So you can change the colors. I'm not sure why it's not changing the white color. Why is it not changing?
You're not changing the right one. You should be changing the blue. Show the blue. You can change the blue.
No, it keeps changing. It keeps changing that bit, but it doesn't change this bit. This white, the white part.
Well, it's because it's white.
Yes, I know that. But
you have to have it up to 200 or something.
Of course, yeah, sorry, you have to increase that, don't you? Yeah, I forget that you have to take the tint amount up to nearly 200 to be able to get the light to the colour to show.
Ta-da!
But yeah, that's a very versatile building. It's 3 sculpts. You can delete this sculpt if you don't need it.
Damn, I should have done that. Colored some of them boys.
Christ.
Oh well.
Yeah, you can delete that one, then it's just 2 sculpts, and that works really, really well for apartments, hotels, you know, background buildings. Again, really, really versatile. What other buildings did you make for this level that were very thermal? Oh, yeah, these ones. The Art Deco buildings that line most of South Beach. So, again, minimal amount of sculpts. What have we got? We got a sculpt there. A sculpt there for this. What would you call this? What's the architectural term for this stuff?
What?
What's the architectural term for this?
Trim.
Trim. Okay, so you got the trim as a separate sculpt, and then you've got the windows, which are separate. So again,
I got the layer of brick that is also separate. Show divas. That's the best way to show that the different colors that you can change it. So.
Yeah, so divas. I mean, the thing is, when you look at it in studio mode, everything's very flat. And what you'll find is that as you're changing the colours, because you're in night mode and because all the lighting and stuff,
about
it looks
divas
very
here.
different.
Lakeisha Dame Devansikwan. That is all. I want to know if any of you can spell Lakeisha Dame Devansikwan. Put it down in the comment section because I am so curious. And then I will type how you actually spell it because this is a very interesting thing. I like things like this. Amuse me. I'm amusing you. Amuse me. We lost a viewer.
It's all I told you. It's all that talk about Lakeisha Dame Devansikwan. It doesn't fly.
Leave Lakeisha Dame Devansikwan alone. Okay.
I know.
Hello,
I
Cap
know
Morgan.
I know what we can show. Hey, Captain Morgan, how you doing?
It's Cap. Cap is lit.
Yeah, we're talking about this background city. This background city really sets it off, makes it look like there's a lot more in the background. So you actually made this all in one sculpt. Well, the shape was one sculpt.
That's Captain Morgan to you. He has earned his rank.
And I'm going to go into studio mode again because I like showing how ugly stuff looks when it's not lit. Because it's just like, it transforms. Lighting is so transformative. Well, no,
Still
but
ugly.
lighting is so transformative on this game. You can have like the worst looking thing
Still
and you put some good
ugly.
lighting on it and suddenly it transforms it, makes it look amazing. So this paint, this is all one paint, which means that you only turn it on or off, but you know, it all uses the same glow, but that's fine. That's what you did. Is there 3?
There's 3.
There are 3.
There is the neon, the red lights, and
oh yes, that's right. The neon is separate to the lighting. Yeah, okay. But still, if we look at the sculpt itself, that is literally just this.
I'm just telling you right now, GOML.
Very, very basic. Very, very, very basic sculpted shapes. Very simple geometry. Add the paint, gives it the night effect. Look at it from behind, from far away, and it does the job. It does what it needs to. It doesn't need to be very detailed. You know, it's just impression. It's the impression of largeness.
I'm gonna give a quick shout out to my man Captain Morgan. This dude is amazing at making cities. Like he's just like one of the best city people, not just in Dreams, but like that I've seen in the level design community. So shout out to my man Captain Morgan. Check out his Twitch. And
check out his work on Dreams if you haven't seen it already.
Yes, check out his work on Dreams, because like this man is a legend. He has earned his rank as captain.
Most definitely. The other background element that you made was these trees, which are scattered all along the coast.
Show how ugly they are.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, this is what they look like. This is the sculpt. I mean, it looks like a tree, but it's, you know, if you had that close up, if you were driving up by that, you wouldn't be very impressed, would you? Same with these palm trees, you know. You wouldn't be very impressed if you drove up close.
Those are palm trees!
Right, but you only see them from a distance. You never get close enough to them. So when you look at them from a distance, they just fill it all out. This is my favourite part that you did, because this just makes it look like it carries on all the way up the coast.
Is anyone curious what types of trees are in this level? If not, I will shut up.
Yeah. If you get him talking about trees, then we will be here until this time tomorrow, possibly. His knowledge of trees is mind-boggling. Literally, he should be a tree surgeon. Like, he just knows everything you can possibly know about trees, foliage, fauna. It's like a walking encyclopedia. I
am the encyclopedia.
You are literally the encyclopedia of trees. And you've told me so much about trees, and I've forgotten almost all of it because my brain does not possess the memory anymore to keep this knowledge. You know, it keeps having to push stuff that's unimportant out for the important stuff. It's really unfortunate because you have a lot of knowledge about trees. In fact, you could probably do a YouTube stream, not Dreams, just trees. You could do a stream where you just, you know, Randy discusses trees. Yeah, just like walking around Florida and just giving the history of, like, you know, these different trees.
Okay, so I know how exactly that would go. Okay, I'd be walking and I'd be talking about trees, and then a crackhead would pop out of the woods, and I would have to explain why there's crackheads popping out of the woods. Let me tell you why. Florida.
Yeah, so it's, as Captain Morgan says, the mind fills in the gaps. When there's stuff in the background, it doesn't need detail. It is impressionist. It is like your mind is seeing the lights. Your mind is seeing the shapes. Your mind knows it's seen these things a million times before. It's like, oh, that's a city in the background.
Don't get worried.
You know, it doesn't have any comprehension about the geometry, about the fact that this is no detail, because you don't. If you look at stuff in the background in real life, if you're standing somewhere and there's a city like a mile or two in the background from where you are, you can't see the details. You just see the broad strokes. You see the shape of the buildings, you see the lights, you see you
Did I
know,
just text
the
myself? Oh
things
my
that
god.
really stand out, and that's it. You don't even notice the color very much because the way that sunlight is hitting them, you don't see the true colors. Everything just looks either kind of golden because the sun is hitting it, or grey or silver because it's not and it's in shadow. And that's from a distance, that's all you're seeing. It's only when you get up close to things that you can actually see the detail. That's how our eyes work. So that's how you can save thermo in your dreams levels, is all the background elements, make them either one sculpt and low detail or even paint them. Although again, you come back to that issue with paint and frame rate, so be careful with the painting. But it's not too bad. It's not too bad if you're using it for backgrounds. I think it's worse for if you're using it for things like trees that are actually in the level and you've got things behind them that's still rendering. But say you had like mountains in the background
Don't.
and you had some background trees that you'd painted and some buildings that you'd painted. I don't think that would affect it too bad because it's still rendering that mountain because that mountain is huge anyway. So yeah, experiment with it and see what works for you. But the bottom line is you don't need detail in the background. And the other thing with background stuff is even if you do use the actual props, you only need to put what you need to see. If you look
Yes,
around
as
the edge of a
Captain
level,
Morgan said, the mind will fill the
the mind
gap.
will
It
fill
will
the
give you
gaps.
this illusion that there is more to the
Exactly.
area, which
Exactly.
there is not.
And this
It's
is
a
this is
void,
something that we've done in all the levels
like
that we've
life.
made, and I've always done in levels I've made on other games and things. Is the illusion of grandeur, I call it. You know, you only place as much as you need to make it
Chat has
seem
stopped talking.
that there's more.
Okay. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I noticed you add furniture in some of your in some of your buildings and things, Cap. That probably doesn't help your gameplay thermo. Although it depends. If you do it all in one sculpt, like I know you do in some of your buildings, then it probably isn't a problem. It's just when you have like different sculpts for it. But I think you've obviously found a really good way of making low thermo stuff with the amount of stuff you manage to cram into your city scenes and things. As well. So, but yeah, I mean, this is a good point. I mean, this is a marina, but this is something you don't actually see, only in passing. And actually, most of that you don't even see on the main track. You just get this impression. The only reason I actually put more detail in it is because you can drive down here to get a prize bubble that's on this part down here. And the only reason I did it is because I thought, well, what if they drive here and go and get a view? What do they see? Okay, they see this. So from there, it looks like a fully kind of fledged marina is going all the way down there. But actually, when you look at it, it's very much just broad strokes.
Move your
Even
butt.
this bit, these are the actual jetty pieces that take up a little bit more gameplay because you can actually see those. These are just pavement pieces because you can't see those. You only see the impression that there's some lines over there. You know, so you don't need that. You don't need that detail. Another one that is good is you don't have to have everything reach the floor. If you've got stuff in the background, it doesn't all have to be like this. There's no need for it there because this blocks it. You know, so you could go around some of your levels, and maybe if you've decided like, oh, I'm going to make the building 3-dimensional with all the sides, but if you only see like 2 of the sides, well, get rid of the stuff you've never seen.
All right, my lovely people, I will be right back in just a moment. If you love my voice, you will hear more in just a moment.
You know,
I highly doubt it.
this is made with facade pieces. You don't need to see the back. You never see the back, even if you come down here. Because of the camera, you never get to see that high, so there's no point having the back. And all of that really helps, especially when you get to the point that we do, where our gameplay is screaming of trying to just free up a little bit more. You know? Free up a little bit more. So, Captain Morgan, what he said, the mind fills in the gaps is probably the most important thing that you can think about with level design, is if you can't see it clearly, don't go to the trouble of making it really detailed. And actually often the less the better. because then the mind is just able to do its thing. Whereas if you've got really detailed things, especially the way Dreams works with its rendering, if you've got really detailed things in the background, they won't even render very detailed anyway, because the level of detail that is built into Dreams will kick in, and it will just show you the low-res version anyway. So it's kind of wasted, in all honesty, and you're just wasting more precious gameplay and stuff with that. So yeah, okay, sorry Cap, I just see you asking some questions. Okay, so we initially made this level back in April. I started the level, then I met Animeboy, and we started working on it together. It took us maybe 3 weeks to make the first version. And then about, what was it, the first week of August, we were sort of like, oh, we should update Ocean City because the trees are all paint. We need to improve the frame rate. So we put some new trees in, and then it just turned into a complete gut job, and we rebuilt it all from the ground up, replacing pretty much everything. The only thing that has remained is the layout, and even that got extended upon. We replaced the roads, all the buildings, everything, you know. It was a complete redo. So we finished it last week, but then there's always the little tweaking and stuff, and we had to wait for Night Owl to do the logic and make the car handling a bit better and things, which was like another week. So I'd say probably 2 weeks we've been working on this redo, from sort of where we started gutting it to where we come to this finished product.
I'm gonna just interrupt you real quick. Cap, I just saw that you added somebody as a collaborator on the Tokyo thing. Who dat?
Thank you, Cap. What was the thoughts when first making it? It was Miami, wasn't it? We were just like, we just wanted something that screamed Miami, and the things that scream Miami is palm trees,
neon,
beaches, neon, ocean, lots and lots of light. Lots and lots of light, and the bridges, I guess, house as well, with the land bridges that you kind of added and made them much more prominent.
The land bridges, listen to this,
really
each
big.
Land bridge is 7 miles long.
Yeah, not these ones, obviously, but
no. If I could elongate those, I would, but that would make the race too long, and people are already like, oh, some of these races are too long. It's like, whatever.
Yeah, we'll leave our big land bridges for the point to point with traffic that we're working on.
No worries, you're not saving anything.
We just giving away where it might be set.
Oh.
He's just looking.
Okay. Okay.
So
cool.
So yeah, I mean, it was just, we just wanted it to be really Miami, and the more we looked around the old version that we looked around earlier before you joined the stream.
Oh my god, he literally just did it. Is no longer collaborating.
We saw, you know, we used a lot of Lucid Stew buildings, and we used the glow on those for a lot of the lighting, and you know, it didn't really look that good. It gave, I think the main thing in the old level that gave it the vibe was the lighting of the sky, with like the purple sky and the day to night cycle. So for this one, we were just like, we flipped it around from night to day, but we weren't planning to go to day. We were just going to have sort of night to early morning, and then you sort of made a bit of a, not a mistake as such, it was a happy accident really with the lighting on the keyframe. You made it a bit too light, and I was just like, wow, I love this looks so cool. That is now really lit, you know, really kind of daylight. There's a lot of daylight, and it transformed how the level looked. Actually, let's just I can't bring the daylight in because actually I can.
What you have to do is you have to hit play and then move the keyframe.
Yeah, I need to turn the keyframe on, but the problem is it's all keyframe to come on a certain time, and I'll just delete like that and that.
Okie dokie.
Because it's not destructive, so.
Cap, you need some pines. You need some pines in our level. Insane Artist made some 2% graphics. Subble pine firs, and they are very nice. Is it okay if I place those in? There's like 5. Yeah, okay, I'll place them in.
So on lap 3, the sun starts to rise, and by the end of the lap, well, actually, about 30 seconds into lap 3, you then have like a nice lit day. So what I did is actually keyframed 2 switches that actually turn off all the neon and lighting in the areas apart from the street lights, because we both agreed that early in the morning the street lights would still be on, but pretty much everything else wouldn't. So once you put those switches on, a lot of the light is gone, a lot of the neon is turned off, and it starts looking like an early morning scene then. I even turned off some of the lighting in the buildings, with a separate lighting and stuff, so it just looked a little bit more... Actually, this residential area is really cool in the day, because, yeah, it's kind of...
Hope y'all are enjoying the stream. We might do this more if, you know, more people end up liking it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about starting my own Twitch, but, like, my background noise is usually my parents yelling at Miami Ink.
So...
Yay!
Yeah, daylight sort of transforms the level, and it was a happy accident because you made the sky too bright, and I was just like, nope, I love it. We're gonna go all in on this daylight thing, and I did all the keyframing, and it took forever, but it was totally worth it because it's a really cool third lap change. I think. I'm just gonna undo all that.
Thanks, Cap Morgan, but to be honest, we're not that organized.
What did he say?
He said, wow, you guys are so organized. We're really not. Lately, we've been trying. We've been trying
to be more organized. We've been trying to plan things, but a lot of the time, it just sort of is like, that's a cool idea. That's a cool idea. That's a cool idea. That's why we. Yeah.
Tell them the disaster that was the beginning of Detroit, because you do it better, because I'm too nostalgic.
Okay. Before that, Beth says, any plans on making Seattle?
Yes.
Yes. At some point.
Future.
We have buildings, because Anime Boy already made a bunch of Seattle buildings for the Insane Artists. Last of the Humans, Part 2.
That's my man's.
Which, shout out, amazing, absolutely amazing creator, amazing level. Go play it if you haven't already. Last of the Humans.
Please do. I collaborated.
Beautiful, yeah, the most beautiful natural scenes, all like together. Anime Boy actually worked on a few of the levels as well in the second part, and they're just gorgeous.
You can just call me Randy. You already said it.
Yeah, okay. Randy? Okay.
You want to fight? You can say my actual name, I'm gonna fight you. Not playing. Just gave you permission.
So,
I'm a dope.
So yeah, the Seattle is definitely one that we would like to make for the future. The plan is that we are going to release a full game with all these tracks towards the end of the year. It's going to have like a progression mode, and it's going to have like a main menu, and it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be like a full thing.
Captain Morgan, I've been interested to ask you this. I was wondering if you wanted to collab on one of these tracks together, because I already like sent you that house, and I know that you probably can't do it right now, but yeah. Just thought I would ask.
So, Randy, I am going to use the toilet, so I'm going to just leave it over to you to keep the viewers entertained while I disappear for a minute. Let's just leave it on a nice view. I think I'll just leave it on this view of the whole thing. There we go. Yeah, there we go. So anyone new to the stream just has a bit of eye candy that they can see.
If anyone has any questions for me, please ask. I may answer, I may not. I'm kind of a dick like that. Yeah.
Okay, you keep them entertained.
Wow, I have no idea what to talk about. Okay, if you don't mind, I show the track on my portfolio, but I will say I only made one building. Yeah, that'll work. Do you have a goal for the end of the year? Stay alive. It's 2020. You never know what's gonna happen, right? Like, I swear to God, they just confirmed aliens and no one's even batting an eye because they're just like, whatever. So, yeah. Captain Morgan, I am making those cookies for you right now, so don't hop on Narima or Ramira or however the hell you say it. So, I might as well just tell y'all about Detroit. Basically what happened was I was trying to add areas that brought back really like good memories and some bad you know, just like nostalgic areas and stuff like that. And the track was getting way too large. We were having a bunch of issues with gameplay and the thermo, you know. Typical stuff, typical Dream stuff. And, you know, he was starting to get a little fed up. So I was like, okay, maybe we just like move on to something else for a while. So we did. And Detroit kind of just got like left in the dust like in real life. Hashtag abandoned. But we will resume the track pretty soon because we just started working on it last night and it's going pretty good, you know? And like I'm gonna be really happy with the outcome because we're not doing the nostalgia shit that I was doing before. We have the key areas in Detroit, Michigan, which, you know, are probably, well, y'all probably don't know, but it's Brush Park, which is this old mansion area that was destroyed back in the 60s during the riots and stuff like that. And we have downtown, which is obviously, you know, every city has their downtown area. And we have Cass Avenue, which is where my dad almost got shot by a black guy who was running amok on the street after he did crack, so that's fun. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole area situation. There's a little highway section that you can drive on for a minute, and I don't know, it's gonna be fun. That's really all that matters, is that y'all enjoy it.
You're
and
talking about Detroit.
Yes, and that the aesthetics are 1 in a million.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
Did
Check
you
out
mention,
the trees.
Did you mention? Actually, we should look at the trees. We should look at this in this mode so we can see the trees. You know, in the element.
Shiny.
Yeah, they're beautiful. They're beautiful.
Gorgeous.
These aren't even at the highest, detail level. You know, they obviously detail's been taken down to fit more in, but they still.
If y'all want them at their highest detail level, their highest detail level is 18% graphics. Yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah, they look very realistic though at 18%. I used them in my tropical tour scene, and they just look gorgeous, and they flap around as well in the wind, which is. Yeah, because
they're flappy birds.
They're flappy. Yeah. Oh, there's the queen palms. No, they're the queen palms. No, they're the royal palms. No,
those are royal palms.
They're the royal palms. I always get confused, but yeah, the queen palms are more like kind of. I don't know. I do know the difference.
They're a little more floppy.
Floppy. Yes, that's it. That's the word I was gonna say, but I was like, is that the right word? But yeah, these are the sables. The tree of Florida State.
That's a royal palm. That's a sable.
Well, no, that's what I said. Oh, I think there's a little bit of a delay because I said this is a sable when I was hovering around the sable.
No, I don't think there was a delay. It's just I wasn't paying attention.
Okay. Yeah, that explains it.
I'm doing these cookies for Captain Morgan. Shout out to him again.
Okay, cookies.
The man, the myth, the legend.
But yeah, I mean, like people always like criticize. Not so much criticize, but I've had people say to me like, "Oh, don't worry about the trees in your racing game. You're just going to drive past them. You're not going to notice them. Just put any old thing in there." And I will. My thought to this is, yes, but no, because without Randy's trees, in these levels, they would look a lot more generic.
Say my name, say my name.
The fact that he makes the trees for each level, he makes the right trees, the trees that actually grow in that city or in that region, and he does research on exactly what they look like, and he makes them look as real as possible. It brings the level to life. It gives it that USP, that unique selling point that generic trees don't. Case in point, Tectonic. Now, Tectonic is a great racing game. It has been picked, it has been played loads. However, the trees in it, the palm trees...
Those trees make me want to commit suicide.
The palm trees are so basic. And the thing is, they're not just basic, but they don't look natural. They don't look real. They've gone for the realistic aesthetic with everything else, with the buildings and the roads and the amazing car. But the palm trees look like something that comes out of a cornflake packet. They are like a freebie. They're like a cardboard put together palm tree, you know? And I know that they made them like that because they were worried about the trees impacting on the frame rate, because their frame rate is perfect. It works perfectly in VR. It's such a smooth game. They did an incredible job optimizing it. So I know that that was their worry, and that was why they made the palm trees the way they did. But for me personally, and I know Randy will agree with me on this, it takes me out of the immersion. Because I'm driving along, the car looks incredible, it's photorealistic, the roads look great, the background, the buildings, all that looks amazing, and then I'm driving down this road and suddenly there are 25 palm trees, all the same size, all the same shape, going down the road, and it just breaks the immersion. It wouldn't be a problem if the rest of the art style was the same. If it was a cartoon racer, cardboard-looking palm trees, fine. It's fine, it doesn't matter, because it's part of the art style. But because you're making an immersive racing game that is going for a realistic look, and then you put this palm tree in there that looks anything but realistic, it breaks the immersion.
Will you all be making street more objects in the future?
More street objects.
We plan to. We don't know if it's exactly one of those things that we can do, because there are a lot of different aspects, you know, with the graphics and the gameplay, thermo. You know, when placing something like mailboxes, let's say we have like 15 mailboxes, you know, they're like one sculpt, you know, they're like 2% graphics, because we want our stuff to look crisp.
I think the problem with the street objects, and I'm pretty sure that you can relate to this, Cap, because you're making that city scene with Detricles, where you've got, you know, from a distance, it's this incredibly vast city scene. But when you're actually on the ground, it's so difficult to fill up that amount of space and make it look realistic, because you've got to put in every street object. You've got to put in sidewalks, you've got to put in bins, you've got to put in street lights, traffic lights, trees, bushes, mailboxes. You know, you've got to put in
bring them up.
Fences, barriers, railings, signs. All these things is what brings it to life on a street level, and it's really difficult to do that. You know, we did it on this, and this is a relatively small level, but on a level as large as the one you guys are working on, it would be impossible on PS4 to make that anywhere near the level of detail you want. It is very much a PS5 project, whenever that might be, and hopefully there'll be massively increased thermo, because that's what eats it. You can make, as we showed with this one sculpt city background, you know, I saw those pictures when Detricles first published the pictures of the city, and he'd got them from afar, you know, and it's like, wow, that is incredible. Because he's used the buildings in really clever ways, he's resized them, he's done this, that, and the other. They're all low thermo graphics anyway, so you can have lots of variety. And they're minimal sculpts, so you can place lots of them. So you can create something very vast. From afar, looks incredible. The problem is filling that space. That's why open world games are virtually impossible
for PlayStation 5
on PS4.
So you're going to wait till 2021 to finish that level? June of 2021, because that's what they said they were gonna.
Really?
They were gonna bring it out. So y'all are gonna wait till June. Like this is like a concerning and asking like question.
Yeah, I mean it's coming, but we don't know when. But I would say
I feel
that
the comment.
with this level, we are pushing what can be done in an open world scene. I mean, it's not open world, but it is. I mean, we could make it open world with a few tweaks because,
No, thank you.
because you'd have to, for example, this bit here, this road connects to this one, but the track goes there. But you could make that quite easily connect. There's another part of road, here, where you could connect it to that. It could be done. We'd have to sacrifice some of the detail, but you could turn this into a fairly open world level. I think we've pushed really far, though, the limitations of what can be done. We're also both using a base PS4. I don't know how much better, like, performance-wise, a PS4 Pro would be, but we're both using a base PS4. So whenever we see the frame rate issues and things... Yeah, whenever we see the frame rate issues, we know that that's the base level. We know, like, for someone like Bad Robo, he says he's working with a PS4 Pro, and he's like, I don't know if I can release these because it would kill base PS4s because of the amount of detail and things in his graphics and the frame rate and stuff. Like, when you watch his videos, it doesn't appear to be much frame rate.
Costa Rica's pretty damn detailed. Check out Costa Rica by animeboy0021.
Costa Rica is very, very detailed, yeah. So your game, Beth, Escher, is PS5. You're going to make it for PS5 rather than PS4.
Escher.
Because initially like Usher. It's like Escher, isn't it? It's like MC Escher.
Yeah, the painter.
Although I think it's spelled differently, because wasn't that spelled ESCH? ER?
Wow.
I don't know, maybe Beth will be able to tell us. I'm sure he knows where the inspiration came
Beth. Tell us, is it like MC Escher? Is it like Usher? Yeah, man. No, I'm playing.
Usher.
So we back in the club. Damn it. I promised I wouldn't sing on the stream, and I did.
So I think... Unless anyone's got any other questions they want to ask about this level or about the process or anything, I think maybe we can show Costa Rica to finish. That might be nice to just showcase that, and maybe Key Largo just to show a couple of your levels to the viewers so they can see them. And
showeth my Levis.
Because they are very beautiful creations that you've made.
So... Lady Lex actually did a thing. She was in Key Largo and she watched like the sun go down and everything. She was like, "Oh my god, it'd be like really cool if you added zombies in it." And I was like, "For fuck's sake!"
No.
She's going down the road too. We're losing her. This is this thing in dreams now. Is Call of Duty Zombies. If I want to play Call of Duty Zombies, I'll just play Call of Duty Zombies. Oh my god. I just want to like talk about this one chick real quick. Atheist knows exactly what I'm talking about. Allison, whoever the heck that is.
They make a lot of COD zombie maps, don't they? But they're literally with every theme, and they keep making. Bucket Zombie was saying about memes earlier. Well, she does the same thing, but with that. And I get that it makes her happy, but she's made like hundreds of these levels, and they're just using the same template but with different decoration. And it kind of, you just think like, do you want to make something else? Are you not bored of that? Because that's just recycling the same idea over and over. And
that's a repetitive thing again.
And I'm not having a go because I'm sure she really enjoys making them, but if that was me, I would get so bored. I would be like, I need to switch this up. I need to do something different.
Just don't do it consistently.
But let's not badmouth anyone because
I'm not badmouthing.
No, but do what you want to do.
You've heard me badmouth.
do what you want to do, but I would get bored if I'm just making the same style of thing over and over. I think with these levels that we make, we're always trying to make every level different in feel and style and vibe, and that keeps it fresh and that stops it from getting tedious for us. I think if we were making just a racing game with racing levels and it was like track levels or something, I think that might get quite boring. But because we're always trying to inject a bit of personality into the tracks and we're always trying to bring a bit of the local flavour in, I think that stops it from getting boring for us, and that helps us to do it. Okay, so Escher or
So what we call
eschatology,
that
a part of theology concerned with the
Christianity is
final events
Judgment
of
Day.
history or the ultimate destiny of humanity. This concept is commonly referred to as the end of the world or end times. Oh, okay.
That is very
Interesting.
dark.
Yeah, definitely.
Beautifully dark. I love dark stuff. You can just ask atheist right here. Dark stuff is my shit. I am unbelievably emo,
So Cap
but
says,
also unbelievably ghetto. Like, there's no middleman.
Cap says, what would you guys think about doing for adding paper paint flecks on a sidewalk or something? Or I noticed in Slide Out Gotham. Oh, do you mean Gotham added a paper thing that floats in your view once? So you're talking about having little dynamic things that like are made of paint that actually appear at the point you drive. Okay, interestingly, we did try that in Windy City where we've got leaves. Yeah, we've got leaves because it's an autumnal scene and all the leaves are kind of falling off the trees, and we've got certain areas where there are painted leaves, basically animated, that are floating around as if they're falling off the leaves. That actually really affects the frame rate, unfortunately, because it's paint. Because, as we said earlier in the stream, paint in general is so bad for the frame rate. Animated paint, yeah, animated paint. That lag, just it's not worth it. For the animated paint, it kills the frame rate. It kills your gameplay. It's a shame because the paint is so versatile with what you can do with it, but the game can't handle it. And I don't know, I've complained on the Facebook group about like they need to optimize it better, and I've had people who know much more about the ins and outs of these things like Tap Giles come back and say, well no, it's because it uses voxels and it's using the same flex as the sculpts, but whereas with sculpts they're all tightly packed together and it uses things like occlusion so that everything behind the sculpt is not rendered. With paint it's single sculpt layers and it's got transparency effect, so everything gets rendered behind it, therefore it's still having to render because the paint isn't blocking it, and the animated paint is just, I don't know what they do with the animated paint, but that seems to make it even worse. So you can blame it on voxels, really. If you don't know what a voxel is, it's basically what Dreams uses for its game engine in lieu of pixels. So whereas pixels have like a place in 3D space, a voxel is essentially I don't know, it's like a cloud or something. It's based on geometric no, it's not based on geometric points, it's based on math. It's based on math, I think, is the thing. I'm not very good at explaining. Yeah, I'm not good at explaining these things really without like knowing what I'm talking about. So I'm not going to pretend. All I know is that Dreams uses voxels, and what it basically means is that yes, there are some limitations like with paint. However, it means that we can do stuff that we do in Dreams, like all this sculpting that you couldn't do if you were using pixels. Because if you were using pixels, everything would have to render. You would have to render object. You know, it's so much more complex to use pixels, and that's how they can make this. That's how they can make Dreams by using these voxels. Bucket Zombie left Dreams. You don't have to leave Dreams, Zombie. I mean, just take what we're saying about memes as a kind of call.
Dude, you're like 13, aren't you?
To change things, because memes are going to kill the game. Basically, memes are, if all people see when they buy Dreams is memes, and they're like, well, where's all the artistic stuff? Where's the full games? Where's the
stuff I seen on Twitter?
Yeah, because every time I look at trending, it's just full of memes and
memes.
Yeah, just stuff that's ripping off existing IP. I find it really difficult going through new trending Dreams to find new stuff that I want to play or I want to check out. Like, a lot of the artistic stuff gets a criminally low amount of likes and views. You know,
Costa Rica.
I see incredible stuff made every day where people put so much time and effort into the artistic side of it, and it gets nothing. And if it doesn't get picked, if it doesn't get recognised by Media Molecule, then within a few weeks, less even, it disappears into an abyss forever. And there are tons and tons of creations out there that are brilliant, that are sitting on 50 or 60 likes, and nobody has ever seen them because they never got any traction when they were first made. They didn't get picked up by anyone, they didn't get streamed by anyone, they didn't get shared, and they just disappear into the abyss. And because so much of the stuff that's being made on Dreams is memes, it is like noise. There is too much of it that is basically drowning out the artistic creators and the artistic content. And that is really what we're trying to say. That's why we're so fed up of memes. That's why, you know, we spend time making these immersive environments like this, and people spend time making artistic scenes and levels and games and, you know, beautiful works of art that most of the people turn around and go, oh, I don't want to play that. Oh, but look, there's a Vine remake. I'll watch that instead. Oh, that's really funny. I like that. And then they'll play a game that's really beautifully done, and because it has something in there that they don't quite like the controls are not quite right, or the frame rate is a bit rubbish, they'll be like, well, yeah, it's okay, but, you know, it's not that good, really. And they don't even give it a like, and you don't even get any traction by people actually liking it, which helps it get seen more. And yet the 2-minute no effort meme you give a like to because it made you laugh, you know. And that's the problem. That's the big problem, and that's what's going to kill Dreams unless Media Molecule address the problem, Sony start actually marketing it properly, and stuff like the IP things like Nintendo and stuff actually properly crack down and just go, you know what, everything with Mario, everything with Wario, everything with our IP,
why
we want it gone.
Wario? That's my question.
We want it gone. We don't want to see it. If it's on your servers, we're going to sue you. And Media Molecule will just have to go, well, we got no choice. We'll have to take it down. And I know that's drastic, but the problem is they gave us the game and they gave you no limitations. They used to allow you to import as much audio as possible. What happened? People imported tons of copyrighted music, tons of copyrighted sound effects. They started, you know, the actual copyright holders started getting onto Media Molecule and started complaining about that and saying, your game is full of this content. You have to take it down, or you have to do something to curb it. Media Molecule, bearing in mind that they had to do this at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic when everyone was working from home and they weren't really in the position to be able to design a system that was going to do it in any kind of proper way, had to come up with a quick fix, and their quick fix was terrible. It was limit audio recording to 15 seconds, and that has turned off so many people. Musicians cannot record real-life tracks into Dreams. They cannot import their music they make outside of Dreams into Dreams to use for background music in levels and scenes. Singers, you know, cannot sing and record it into Dreams. You want sound effects, you want dialogue in your short scene or your movie or whatever, your game. You have to record it in 15-second chunks. You know how hard it is to record things in 15-second chunks?
Okay, we've already discussed this for like 20 to 30 minutes. That's what the stream is becoming. That's not what we wanted to happen, though it happened. Let's not continue down this path. I have to say to Bucket, Zombie YT, you don't have to leave Dreams. We're not the government. We can't tell you what to do. I've already said this. Do what you want. Just don't blow our stuff up with stuff that looks like it's been made in 5 minutes. Okay? That's all I gotta say. And if you leave the stream, have a good day.
Seconded. Right. We are going to have a look at... Which one do you want to do first? Key Largo or Costa Rica?
I think my parents are home. Well, how about you just show them, and I'm just going to check up on my dad because he's hurting and he had to fix these calipers.
Okay. Well, we'll start with Key Largo. Key Largo Beach Bar.
Thank you. Can you stay until it gets dark? That'd be pretty dope. Thank you.
Yep. You can get rid of that disclaimer now, though, because it's only laggy for the first second, because we fixed that problem. Alright, so this is a scene that Anime Boy made, or Randy, as you're getting to know him. It's based on Florida beach area, and yeah, I'll just let the scene speak for itself, really, because this just showcases his talent for scenes and nature. Yeah, so there's a little bit of lag right at the start, but
never mind. It's just my hood-ass neighbors.
Okay.
Bumping mumble rap.
Oh.
Yeah.
That one.
Yes, scream it at the top of your lungs. I am the best person ever. Literally, I've had 35 people say that in my entire life. Like, I am cool.
Listen to that music.
I know that sounds. I know that sounds narcissistic as fuck, but I believe it. I've dyed my hair white, and I'm gonna be even cooler. Y'all gonna see me pop up on Instagram being like an influencer. What am I influencing? How not to be a dumbass. Because that's what people, especially in the United States, that's what people in the United States and around the world need to be taught, is how to be a civil servant and how not to be a dumbass. I am not Republican. I will tell you that right now.
So, it's worth mentioning that you used a lot of the Dreams Guild assets for this one, didn't you? Like the Dreams
Guild, like Wizard Stew, and some other people. I literally forgot all their names.
There's a floating lunchbox. Oh no, it's a floating towel.
Oh my god, I forgot about the towel. You didn't tell me about the towel. I literally did a share play.
I have never noticed that towel before. There used to be a floating barbecue right here. I see you moved that down to the beach now.
Well, yeah, I moved it down to the beach because I thought it'd be a nice idea to have it like down by the beach.
We got Key West over there in the distance.
Before anyone asks, this will never be remixable. I do not want to see Wario goes to Florida. Not in this lifetime. If Wario comes to Florida, I'm shooting him with my shotgun.
Yeah.
Oh my god, somebody would literally pay a lot of money just to like see a meme of me or like my avatar shooting Wario with a shotgun as he's coming into my hood ass house.
And now we got the night drop. Oh,
that
here's the barbecue.
Sounds funny.
Here's the barbecue. Here is the barbecue.
I will tell you right now, if I know that only one person who's probably watching lives in Florida, he can vouch for me. It literally does get that dark that quick.
And then there we go. There's the lovely lit up Key West. You used those hotel buildings for that, didn't you?
Check out Point Betsy Lighthouse, made by animeboy0021. It has a working lighthouse. It is a beautiful lighthouse. Yes, please check that out. I'm very proud of that asset.
I love this lighting. The lighting's very cool.
We have lost a viewer. Oh no.
Yeah. We're getting to the end of the stream, I'd say now. Anyway, I think we've probably got maybe another 10 minutes or so.
Jim and I probably talked till like 11 o'clock or some shit.
How long have we been streaming? Because I can't see a thing on my screen that says how long the stream is.
No,
must be 2 hours, maybe more.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think we actually saw the traffic because I kind of moved away straight away because of the lag when you're at the start, but then it goes away.
Show the traffic. Oh yeah?
You got Mr. Muffin Man's cars in there.
I haven't done anything on Dreams today. I actually found a really good reference for the new Canary Island at Palm. We can talk about that after the stream, cause tree details and all that.
Very nice. Oh, and there's another one coming down the other way.
Step in front of the car. It's Florida. They'll go around you. Maybe.
I know this one's coming at quite a speed. Oh,
There's delay.
I died.
What?
I died. It just respawned me when it hit me. You must
I guess it's
must have
got-
like a health modifier on it or something. Look at that.
Also, it's like it's 10-second
Margaritas.
delay.
Yeah, margaritas, nice.
It's a 10-second delay, so I can hear what you're saying. But
I see,
on the
right.
stream, I'm seeing something else.
You can get rid of that very laggy disclaimer now, though, because it's only about 1 second, so actually you don't even need a disclaimer. It's definitely
Keep
not
it for
laggy.
nostalgia.
Yeah, so Costa Rica, this one really blew me away. This is so beautiful, and what is really impressive about this one is that it plays so well. Like, there's barely any lag. There's none that I can notice.
Trigger zones.
It's all about those trigger zones. Maybe you can just explain how you do your trigger zones while I walk around and admire the view.
Can I explain? I'll explain that in another stream.
Oh, we're not gonna reveal the secrets.
Well, I'll probably reveal the secrets on my own time. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay then. Protective. He does get very protective of his things sometimes. Like I'll be like, Randy, you should release that asset public. He's like, I don't want to release everything. It's an artistic thing.
It is an art thing. Literally,
It's like
ask
that
any artist. And they'll just be
exclusivity.
like,
You want some things to be just for you, so nobody else can
Right.
use them. I get it. It's like, this is mine.
Here's another
You'll
thing.
only see this
I would
in
be
my
posting
stuff.
like 30 trees a week if I did that. Let's be honest.
He does make a lot of trees. Yeah.
I
that's
make
true.
too many.
He does make a lot of trees.
I make way too many.
I am just going to go ahead and do that very annoying YouTuber thing of saying, if you like this, please subscribe,
I
because
already did that.
I don't have a lot of subscribers, and I would like to do more of these things, but I need motivation to stream.
Like and subscribe if you love hearing me talk shit.
I mean, we can do more of these. We can definitely do more of these.
Yeah,
I'm
we can
sure
definitely
have
do
lots
more of
things.
these streams. Today I got lucky and my parents aren't like up my ass.
I haven't even showed the best bit of this yet. I'm holding off on that. I'm just looking
I
at the
need to
jungle
redo
at
that.
the moment.
I need to redo that best bit.
This
Oh, yeah.
jungle though is
This
so
is a
dense.
thing.
This is like, okay, so
Since-
do you know what it was? Do you know what it was though? You saw the jungle
What do you think about
that Bad
before you
Robo did,
design a level?
and
You want to know what I
you
think
were
about
like,
before I design a level is
do that.
whether or not I can do it. That's the whole thing. Like, when I started this, I was just like, oh shit, I probably can't do this because the frame rate and everything. So, I came up with these, like, different things, these different ways that I could, like, try to get the frame rate to work, and I might as well tell since I'm already at this fucking point.
Right.
Basically what I do is, as you can see, every single tree is swaying. But, Ath, can you do me a favor and show a tree that's a little farther away? Thank you so much. As you can
just look in
see
the
at the very
distance,
top of
yeah.
the waterfall, those trees aren't swaying. Here's the reason why. I have an action recorder hooked up to a trigger zone, so when the character comes within close proximity, maybe like 15, 25 feet, the tree will start swaying to give that realistic effect, because actual video games do this. They don't have trees that sway from like 10 miles away. Like, if you look at Grand Theft Auto, you only notice that stuff will only like start moving when you're within like a quarter mile of it. So I try to recreate that in Dreams, and it actually works. So I did that for every single palm tree, every tree in the level that has the sway effect. And another thing that helps with the frame rate is making anything that's out of level non-collidable, because you're not going to be
Damn, that's
near that anyway. So all those trees in the background, those are non-collidable. Nothing is collidable in the background. And the fronds aren't collidable, the leaves aren't collidable, because in real life you can just push those out of the way, right? So it's like, what's the point? Show the water.
Yeah. And the water, which is actually very cool because you can go for a swim. And
I haven't added that mechanic yet, but yeah.
look at the little Fishies.
So, yeah. Before we start the design, I usually sketch out something, and, you know, we just try to make it possible. Like, the whole problem with Detroit was I didn't sketch it out, because I already knew the area.
It ballooned, like, so big. It was just insane.
So big.
It was insane.
I love that water. I would just, like, sit there.
I was just in that position. I was like, you know what? I want that as my PSN background. Because that is just such a peaceful, gorgeous scene. I mean, yes, that's amazing.
I want to make more scenes like this. Actually, can we just give like a quick shout out to a future project?
For sure. I know which one you're going to say. If
any of you were playing Dreams back in the early access in June last year, I released something called The Road Less Traveled. It did only get about 150 likes, but it got over 1,000 plays. It was very floaty, very laggy, because I had a lot of trees. Like, every single tree in the level was moving. I will be doing a remastered version with help from Night Owl, Ian Sane Artist, and atheistsw. Hopefully I want it to be kind of like Resident Evil in a way, but not at the same time, you know? Like, I want to make it uniquely mine, but also have help from incredible people. I mean, if anyone wants to help, you know, just hit me up, because I know that most of you already have my information, so just hit me up, and I'll get back to y'all. You have my details.
Can I just...
You can call my agent.
Can I just... Cap said, what do you think about before you design a level? I'm not sure if that was directed to me, to you, or both of us, but I'd just like to add my personal feelings on that. For me...
your opinion doesn't matter. Nothing.
for me, a lot of with level design is about it's about scenes. It's about, because I come from a very sort of like photographic and cinematographic background. With like static scenes and cinematography and things. I'm always
back in the good old 80s.
I'm always thinking about composition and how the scenes look. So very often when I'm designing scenes, especially with like the tracks, I'll put too much detail in initially that you can't end up seeing. So I'm just going to go ahead and just show a couple of scenes I've made recently, because I wanted to showcase some cars.
Your new one.
And I just put together a few scenes over the last couple of days while we were sort of not really doing anything with MSR.
14%, yay.
And I just wanted to showcase some vehicles, and I made these static scenes, and I made them because I just wanted to not have to worry about gameplay thermo. I just wanted to be able to place down props and make a scene that's like a photograph come to life.
I need to explain composition, since I am a composition artist. Composition is basically the illusion of making something feel more alive. Like, if I'm drawing a landscape, you have to have good composition, so you need to make sure that there's a good foreground and good background to complement its composition, to complement the area in the drawing. So it also works for level design. Like Miami, there was a lot of composition in there because we had to make sure that everything looked good. Because if it doesn't look good, it'll look out of place, and then you'll lose your immersion. And that's pretty much what composition is. It's making everything feel immersive.
Right. So, like, one of the things, it's also about framing. It's about, if you think about a photograph, it's very much about how you frame, and it's about having points of interest in different parts. So, like here, for instance, I framed the car in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, I've got the bottom left-hand corner. You've got the railing leading away, giving that sense of kind of depth. And then in the background, you kind of got the town, moving away from the background. You got the distant mountain, or the closer background mountains in the top left-hand corner, and then the top right-hand corner, you've got the far away mountains, and the center of the image is kind of like the town itself. So it's about where everything is placed, where all the elements are placed, so that they are working with each other in the scene. And that is really a
wow,
it
look
is
at
really
all those
like
buildings. Who made those?
It is really a photographic term that can be applied to any art form. Who made those buildings was the Big Pier. I want to give a shout out actually to the Big Pier. He makes some brilliant stuff. He's got such a unique art style. He has such a great art style. I love it. He has made something that is Mario but not Mario. It is his own unique spin on Mario, where basically it is the brothers plumbing, and it's kind of based on the Super Mario Super Show from the 80s, like this old show, but he's done everything to kind of get around the copyright issues. So like all the characters have his own unique spin, it's got his own unique art style with them, and he's just made loads of different levels for it. He keeps adding to it. Go ahead and check that one out. And the other one he's made is called Driving the Dream, which is a racing game, where he's got his own style of cars and his own style of tracks, and it's kind of like Mario Kart-ish, but not Mario Kart. It's more realistic kind of cars that you use, more realistic, but still cartoonish surroundings. So anyway, if you want to check out those games, if you go to my profile, go to 8 Must Play Dreams, you'll find them in there, because I think he deserves a lot of praise for consistently sticking with his style, and not like kind of selling out and going down that meme route or whatever, which he could quite easily do and probably do very well, because he could quite easily make his own anything he wanted. He's very, very talented sculptor, makes some fantastic puppets.
Wario in Florida.
Exactly, he could, but he doesn't. He makes his own unique original content, and it's brilliant, and he deserves much more attention and followers. So the Big Pier, please go and check him out. And yes, he made those buildings. They're like modular buildings, and I recolored them and placed them to try and make something resembling the Amalfi Coast, which is in real life absolutely gorgeous. I hope I did justice to it. And the last scene then is the one I made just the other day, and this one is based on Cuba. And this one, because Cuba is a very time-warped kind of city, and it's got everything is so old. City? Yeah, it's so old. Everything in Cuba, especially Cuba's a very old country. Havana, which is what this is based on, is a very old city, and everything, ding, ding. Because their communist background is old, so they're driving around in these old 50s, 60s American cars, but they're not being powered by the original, the original stuff, because that's died long ago. They just fix, because they're old, they can fix them with newer parts, but they're not a very prosperous country. They don't have a lot of money, so a lot of the stuff that they drive around is very old. So I thought it'd be nice to have this kind of old-fashioned Cuba scene, showcasing this VW Beetle that was made by Ursus, who also made a fantastic Lamborghini Countach and an amazing Corvette, which we actually asked him to make after seeing the Countach, and like less than a week later he's like, there you go, it's done, and it's brilliant, and we're going to use it in a future race. And the other cars, all the ones you see on the side of the Beetle and the ones driving around, are made by the Muffin Man 775, who also deserves a massive shout out, because he made the car in Ocean City, the Dodge Charger. He also made the BMW Z4 that we use in San Francesco, and he makes so many cars, and his skills are just developing so well, like the realism that he can bring to his creations now.
I want to give a quick shout out to Ian St. Artist, who made those lovely clouds in the background. He is one of my I wouldn't say closest, but he's a really good friend of mine. We chat like every day. We challenge each other every single day. Like, it's just like we have problems chatting because he's so busy and he lives in a different time zone, yada yada yada, all that fun shit. But yeah, check out Ian Saint Artist, IANSANEARTIST on Dreams.
To be fair, most people probably know him, but it's never a bad thing to shout him out because he makes so many beautiful scenes like this kind of static scene or slightly moving scene, but nature based. He has brilliant nature props as well: assets, mountains, water, clouds,
Huge majority
trees.
of them requested or challenged by me.
But yeah, I mean, he's a fantastic artist. Definitely one of the best visual artists on Dreams.
Wow, look at those palm trees. I wonder who made those.
I wonder.
Give a shout out to whomever made them.
Well, let's see. There's the cocoa palms in the foreground, made by Anime Boy. There is the royal palms. No, not the royal palms. The medules.
Some royals.
Oh yeah, there are some royals in the background. Yeah, there's royals and medules made by
Can't see them
Anime
bitches.
Boy.
Where they at?
And there are some flowers that are not actually flowers. They're what was the name of that tree?
They are mimosa trees.
Mimosa tree, yeah,
grows
sunk
in the
into the
southeastern
ground.
United States and the Caribbean. I have one in my backyard. That thing is a pain in my ass because my dog likes to eat the berries, and the berries are poisonous to dogs. So every single day I have to go out there, pick them up one by one because I can't sweep them, and it's this whole thing, and I hate it. But it's a beautiful tree.
Okay. Joe, I think we're pretty much done. I think we've been talking for a long time.
I think we can call it.
I think we can call it. I think this has gone well. I've enjoyed myself.
We have talked.
We've had
I guess
more
you can show
people...
your cars real quick.
Oh no, don't worry about that. I'm gonna finish by just playing a bit of music with a music video just to play us out. Yeah, I think it's went well. I've never had this many people watching a stream. Oh, apart from when I got Fallout 4 like 2 days early and I started streaming and I turned it on to stream and was like installing it and I went for a shower and I came back and I had like 200 people watching a loading screen and I was like, what? But then when I started playing the game, everyone was just like, you don't know what you're doing. I'm like, no, because I just got the goddamn game. Give me a break.
Oh, Jade, hi. Yeah, the stream's ending, hon.
I'm just going to play out a music video with some music to finish, but thank you all for watching. We've had fun. We hope you've learned something. We hope you've enjoyed our random natterings, and we may do this again sometime in the future. If you don't already
you like to bitch and
follow
bicker,
us
you can call us the bitch boys.
in Dreams, please do, but I know a lot of you already do, and we thank you for that. We appreciate your support. We appreciate your support with MSR, which is our big project that we're continuing to add to, and we've got more stuff coming in the coming weeks and months ahead. And yeah, we're really enjoying what we do, despite the constant battle against the tirade of memes. But you know,
also,
we're trying
I will
to win
be
the battle.
doing a Twitch stream. I'm not sure. I'm hoping this weekend or next week. I will leave a post on Facebook, or to those of you who have my information, I will just send it to your PlayStation or your Messenger. And this has been Anime Boy, and fuck you. No, I'm playing.
And this has been atheistsw. We thank you for watching, and have a good day, evening, or night, wherever you may be.
Alright,
Cheers
bye,
for watching.
Beth. Bye,
Bye-bye.
Huggable. Bye, Cap Morgan.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Goodbye. Bye. I think it's just us. I think it's just us. I think it's just us. Alright, you gonna talk or not? I'm waiting. Yeah, it's just us. Okay, old bloke. Just us. Okay, old bloke. Just us. Okay, old bloke. Yes. Okay, old bloke. Oh, that's awful. Oh, that's awful. Oh, that's awful. Okay, I'm done.